Welcome on in, guys. How about with that live goal, if you wouldn't mind, and tap that screen. Appreciate it. Glad you're here. Agreed, Tommy. We are absolutely done with the haters. We are absolutely done with the Trump supporters and the people who are against the Constitution and against America. We are absolutely done with you people. 100%. Thank you for agreeing with us. Guys, if you voted for Donald Trump, we want you to hop in the box. Otherwise, please keep tapping that screen. We are here for some afternoon fun time. Help out with the live goal, and we're going to have a good time. What's up, guys? I know. Ain't that fresh? Oh, man. Thanks, Roughhouse. He says the left is mental. Yeah, man. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I assume that you're British, and he's saying that in the positive way, like it's mental, yo, like that kind of a thing. Thank you for the compliment.
It's mint. It's sick.
It's sick, isn't it? In it.
I don't say in it.
You don't? What do you mean you don't?
I used to have back in the day when I was in my late teens. I used to work in a gentleman's outfitters, and I had a colleague. His name was Hitton, and he used to.
Glad you said the word outfitters. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. He used to say "in it" and "is it" all the time. If you said something like, if you'd say, "Oh, I went here last week," and I'd say it was really good, and he'd go, "in it," and I'd say, "Did you know that on a Thursday they have curry night?" And he'd go, "Is it?" Yeah, it is. Yeah. Those were his only two phrases: "in it" and "is it."
He sounds like a real tour de force. A real tour de force.
He was the Shakespeare of his time, Matthew.
Sounds like it. Sounds pretty amazing. If you voted for Donald Trump, we'd like you to hop in the box. Also, we are live and up on the tube. Welcome to our friends over on the tube. If you haven't already, please subscribe both to myself and to our friend Erica. Erica's link is in the description. So please do that. That'd be great. We're glad you guys are here. So yeah, if you're over on the tube and you would like to come on over and join the conversation, you do have to still at the moment come on over to the Tiki Talks. It's Politics of Matt. You can see the link also in the description. Well, not the link, I should say, but at least the name is in the description there. So, anyways, if you voted for Donald Trump, we'd like you to request on up. So far, a bunch of people chirping in the chat, but no one with the cojones to come on up and talk to us, which I understand you're intimidated by the color of Erica's microphone, which makes sense.
This is my new microphone cover. It's modeled on Donald Trump. It's the exact same shade as his face.
Yeah. It's yeah, that makes sense. Exactly. And it's a streaky like Donald Trump's face too. Like it's not solid.
Like his face.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't see them, but it has ears back here. They're perfectly white. The ears are white, but the microphone is orange. That's how that's working.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, look who it is. This guy's just
I haven't got glasses on. I've got no clue.
It's this guy, Reciprocity. This guy's just a glutton for punishment. Just keeps coming back. This is third day in a row coming back.
Yeah, I try. I just wanted to make a correction at that article from yesterday. That soldier is sentenced to 7 months.
No one actually cares. I already said that he spent 7 months in prison. The point with the article yesterday that you're trying to somehow make okay is that the guy who literally abused a bunch of people in prison still kept his job in the IDF and just got a demotion. He didn't get kicked out of the IDF for abusing people. Cool story, bro. Anything else?
Okay, but he did get put in prison.
Oh, wow. Oh, no. He had to spend a couple of months in prison, and he still got to keep his job. Holy shit. You literally proved our point that the only thing that happened was he's had to spend a couple of months in prison, and he got to keep his job after abusing prisoners. So, yes, the IDF absolutely protects its own. You're a piece of shit for not acknowledging the fact that Israel treats Palestinians like shit. You're a piece of shit for not acknowledging that and for trying to say that the IDF polices its own polices its own soldiers. Okay? Just want to make that clear.
Wow.
Tell us more, by the way, about how the West Bank isn't kicking people out, Palestinians out, even though there is verifiable proof that it's happening. Every news organization in the world has reported on it, and we have video of it. But apparently you say that it's not happening. No, tell us all. Tell us all. You were telling 1,200 people yesterday that it wasn't happening. Tell us all again how it's not happening.
Are you talking about the East Jerusalem situation?
Yep, the thing that you said that wasn't happening, and then we showed you video and verifiable reports from the BBC that it was happening. And before you say that the BBC isn't a reliable source, that's the source that you gave us for the soldier.
Yeah, but the BBC didn't have the 7 months in there.
It actually literally did. I even read that to you yesterday. Okay. Yep, it did.
Okay.
Yep, it did. So I think maybe you need to take a step back. I think maybe you need to take a step back, and you need to admit to yourself that you are lying. You are lying to yourself, and you are completely deluded because you are completely 100% fucking biased, and you don't have a clear view of the situation, sir.
And you're not biased on the situation. You're seeing it for what it is.
Absolutely,
right?
I'm seeing it for what it is, for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, so the violence that's committed against the Israeli population is just par for the course?
Absolutely not. And I've denounced it many times. If you've ever listened to me, you know that my partner is Jewish, and I 100% denounce any sort of anti-Semitism, and I think that any sort of violence against Jewish people is absolutely 100% wrong, and I think that Jewish people should be able to defend themselves. However, the government of Israel is currently committing a genocide and has been committing a genocide, and the government of Israel is complicit in such. I can separate the two things. Can you, sir? Can you separate the two things, the Jewish people and the Israeli government, or are they the same to you?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. Then if you can separate the two things, then you should be able to reasonably do as such, because what you're doing right now is not separating the two things. You're separating the two things. Yeah, you've got a terrible echo. Yeah, you've got a terrible echo.
Oh shit! Sorry, 1 sec.
And by the way, in the article that you claimed was biased, and you still have an echo.
was biased, and you still have an echo.
All right, one second. One second.
Of course I.
Of course.
Here, let me do that.
Of course I hit my
Okay, is that better?
testing. 1, 2, 3.
Is that better?
Yes, that's better.
I can't hear you. God damn it. I'm gonna drop. Can you add me back?
Yep. I can't believe this guy came back just to say that.
Well, he seems nice.
Sure. The same guy. He was the guy, for those of you who don't remember, the only time that this has ever happened to me is my live got taken down yesterday for inactivity. That has never happened to me before. Never ever happened to me before. And I guess I was off screen for just long enough. And I thought it got taken down for something else, but it was just inactivity, which is why we had to restart last night. All right, let's see.
Sorry, I'm having to restart my computer because it's doing the
Yeah.
thing.
Well, that's
Is
fine.
that better?
That's fine.
Sorry about that.
Hello?
All right.
Hey, sorry about that.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, anyways,
Yeah.
it's in the that was in the article. I even said to you yesterday, okay, so he spent some time in prison, but he still gets to keep his job. And he just got demoted one rank.
Right.
That's the only thing that happened to him.
Yeah.
He wasn't discharged from the
what I'm
IDF.
saying-
Why wasn't he discharged from the IDF if he was abusing prisoners? Any of us would lose
depends
our
on the
jobs. Any of us would lose our jobs if we did something like that, right?
Well, correct.
If you
It
were a
depends on
prison
the level
guard,
of
sir, if you
abuse.
were a prison guard, sir, and I was a prison guard, and we abused prisoners, would we lose our jobs?
I'd like to hope so. Yeah.
Awesome, fantastic. Why didn't that gentleman lose his job?
You're asking
I know,
why that
right?
decision was made. I don't know.
Why didn't he lose his job?
I would have to look into the. I don't know the level of abuse that was.
I don't care what the
that was
level
carried
of
out.
abuse was. If he abused people enough to
know.
go to prison for a few months, I would think that he should lose his job. If it was bad
Yeah,
enough to
I
go to
would agree with that.
prison, cool. Then I guess you have successfully proved my point, which is that the IDF doesn't give a fuck if their soldiers are abusing people and committing war crimes because they kept this guy around. Cool
But
story.
You say that, and that. You say that, and then he goes to prison for 7 months.
And
Like,
then
you
he
think they're
keeps
okay
his
with-
job and he's still in the IDF.
But he's not going to be around prisoners anymore.
But he's around other people that he can still abuse. Oh no, he's not around prisoners, guys. He can just kill other people. Cool story.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Cool. Dude, this is not this is not some sort of like amazing win for you. This is literally proving the point that they don't give a flying fuck. What happened to the people? What happened to the people at Abu Ghraib in America? What happened to those people when they were caught? They were court-martialed
I think
and they were discharged.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Uh-huh. Cool.
I don't believe they spent. I don't believe they were sent to prison. Though.
Yeah, they were. And they
They
were,
would've been
and they
helping
were,
to
and they were,
break
and
for
a number of
a
them were
while.
dishonorably discharged from the army, sir.
Right. Correct.
Yes, which is the correct thing to do.
Okay. What I'm saying is that Israel has a small population. There's you can give them a menial office job that doesn't impact, actually, have an impact on prisoners or the enemy or whoever it is that he might that he might carry out whatever. he
If
carried
you
out. Anyway, I agree,
cared,
shouldn't-
if
shouldn't
you
be in-
cared
shouldn't be in the-
about,
I
if you
agree.
cared, which is your literal argument, that was your entire argument, sir. If you cared, you would remove them from the service. That would be the signal to everybody else to say, hey guys, we don't put up with this. If you do this, you will lose your job. But they didn't do
I
that.
do
What they
agree with
did
that.
was they protected him.
Okay.
Cool. So what they
Yeah, after he
did
spent
was
7
they
months
made
in prison.
sure
Yeah.
that everybody knew. They made sure that everybody knew that if you commit an offense and you abuse some prisoners, sure, we'll for optics' sake, we'll send you to jail for a little while. But when you come out, you're still going to have a
what is
job,
optics?
and we're
Prison.
just going to demote
Prison.
you for a little bit.
Matt, can I just done a little bit of fact checking?
Yeah, sure.
Just I'll get my mic down a little bit. So 11 soldiers were charged with dereliction of duty, maltreatment. This is Abu Ghraib.
Yep.
Maltreatment, aggravated assault and battery between May 2004 and May 2006. These soldiers were court-martialed, convicted, sentenced to military prison, and dishonorably discharged from service. 2 soldiers, Specialist Charles Grainer and PFC Lindy England, received harsher sentences for their roles. Grainer was convicted of assault, battery, conspiracy, maltreatment of detainees, committing indecent acts and dereliction of duty, receiving a 10-year prison sentence and loss of rank, pay, and
U.S. is serious
benefits.
about that.
England was convicted of conspiracy, maltreating detainees, committing indecent acts, receiving a 3-year prison sentence. So you don't want other countries to be serious about that?
I never said that. No, I'm agreeing with the fact that he shouldn't be in the military anymore. I'm not disagreeing with that. I agree that he shouldn't be in the military anymore.
Okay, so you great. So you agree that the IDF doesn't actually care about what's happening,
No,
and they
see,
don't
that-
take care of. Okay, so can you give us an example of them actually caring about atrocities committed by their soldiers?
They put him in prison for 7 months. You're saying they don't care.
You just admitted that they should have removed him from service, but they didn't.
Right.
So clearly they don't care.
Okay, but how is he gonna go to prison for 7 months and then you're saying they don't care? Obviously they care. Or they wouldn't have put him in prison. They wouldn't have.
Okay,
They wouldn't have tried him, they
sir,
wouldn't have convicted him. They wouldn't have done anything.
sir.
Yeah.
You have agreed with me multiple times now that the correct thing to do would have been to remove him from service, from his position. You
Correct.
have agreed. Okay.
I do agree
If
with
we
that.
agree that that was the correct thing to do, you agree that the IDF did not do the correct thing. That is the next step to say, correct? The IDF did not take the correct
Correct,
step.
but I think advocating.
No,
for the IDF to
stop,
do the correct
stop,
thing is-
stop, stop, stop.
All right.
Don't say anything
Okay,
else
I
because
stopped.
now shut the fuck up. I've really had it with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can I just point something else out? His prison sentence would be based on laws, whereas whether they decided to have him back into the IDF, that would be an executive decision. So if he's accused of a crime, it gets to the point of going to court. The government has no choice over whether he is convicted with that crime, and they have no choice regarding what his prison sentence is, because that's based on the laws of the land. If they choose to have him back into the military, that is an executive decision by the government, but potentially, by the president or the prime minister or whatever your particular country is governed by. Saying they do care because he was in prison for 7 months, it's arguable that if they had the choice and if they didn't have laws, they wouldn't actually imprison him for any time at all, considering they're willing to have him back in the military. So that they do care because he went to prison for 7 months is null and void, because it wasn't the government that put him in prison. It was the legal system.
Yeah, so they cared to follow the law, right? I agree.
No, the government didn't care to follow the law. It's not up to the government whether the laws are followed. It's up to the judicial system.
Okay. As I understand, there's also a soldier that was telling him that he was doing
That's
the wrong
nice,
thing.
but can you comment on what I just said rather than pivoting to another soldier? On your misunderstanding. I'm sure you would agree that there are people imprisoned in the US every day that Donald Trump doesn't want imprisoned, hence the fact he keeps pardoning people. And there are people not imprisoned in the US every day that Donald Trump would like to be imprisoned.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got the echo again.
Sorry, I do.
Yeah. As much as I love hearing myself.
Well, actually, it's gone. Actually, it's gone now. I don't know if you keep turning up your speaker or something like that, or putting us on Bluetooth, but it's gone now.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, in a country of laws, the government can make new laws, but they can't decide who is and isn't convicted under those laws. That is the job of the judicial system, not the job of the government. So the government has no power over this once it gets to the judiciary.
Okay. I mean, I thought in the U.S. it's a little bit different with the military tribunals and whatnot. If I agree, the military shouldn't have him back.
Are you suggesting that when there's a military tribunal, the government can get involved, and that military members are not actually held accountable under the laws that provide for military members? I think that's offensive to.
What?
I think that's offensive to the military, to be honest. They are also governed by laws.
Right. I was simply saying that there are processes from within the military that can prosecute such behavior, as far as I'm aware. How is that offensive?
No, it was the implication that the government can intervene and someone not be convicted when they've done something wrong that would, I imagine, be offensive to anybody in the military who is involved in the legal side of things.
All right. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be responding to right now. I just know that whenever I start responding, I'm stopped immediately. So, is there something specific I should be responding to?
Yeah, sure. The fact that you're wrong.
Okay.
Your point was, I believe, that they do care because he was put in prison for 7 months. That is not an indicator that they care. That's an indicator that they have laws, which the government cannot directly intervene with.
So initially, my point was that the people in the military care because I'm the person in specific situations, and I know that they care, and that they do police their own, and that I'm asked for an example of it, so I provided an example of it.
Except you didn't provide an example of it because that's not them policing their own. That's the judicial system doing some work, and then that's them accepting somebody back in even though they did something terrible. It's the opposite of them policing their own. It's them taking them back in knowing that they did something wrong, and you have admitted that you agree they shouldn't have done that.
Right, and I
exactly. So now what you've done is,
Wow.
we asked you for an example of it, and you didn't provide one. That's why you're giving us a logical inconsistency. That's why we keep stopping you,
Okay.
and this entire point is moot. They did not protect anybody except for the soldier. They kept his job. They demoted him one rank. Woo! But he got to keep his job. Protecting other people would have been getting rid of that soldier and saying, you're not allowed to be here anymore because you did something wrong and we care about other people. That would be the right thing to do.
Okay, all right. Let me.
Do you understand what I just said? No. Before you start talking again,
understand.
good. Do you understand the words that just came out of my mouth? Because you just started talking over the end of what I said, and it seems like you're not listening to a fucking word that Erica and I are saying.
No, I am listening to what you're saying.
Then what did I
Well,
just
that
say?
was-
Then explain to me. No. Stop and explain back to me what I just said to you. Explain it back.
Okay. Okay. You said that that I have not provided any evidence that that the military actually cares because the soldier in question was handled by the judiciary separately, and then the military. Had accepted him back by demoting him one rank, and that demonstrates how they don't care and they cover up for their own. Was that close enough, or?
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Okay.
Good. Okay, so we agree that this entire story is a moot point, and it has zero bearing on what you were trying to prove.
Okay. So what I want to say is, I if we can't move forward until I provide it, let me step back then. Okay. I'll go pull together some examples, and then I'll come back better prepared with examples that
There's
we can
no
review, okay? Is
examples that you're
fair?
going to be able to provide that are going to convince anybody that Israel isn't committing a genocide and that law enforcement and military don't close ranks and protect their own. There's no examples that you're going to be able to provide that because everybody knows that it's true. Even law enforcement officers that we talk to in real time, the law enforcement officers that spoke to you, 2 of them the other night, lifetime law enforcement officers told you as such, and you simply didn't believe them.
I didn't. Okay. So. All right. I'm trying to have this conversation in good faith. This is really difficult.
Yes, it's very difficult to have a conversation with somebody who literally is denying reality. Agreed.
All right. So, would you be willing? Could I come back with some better examples? Then, if you just give me some time, and I'll come back. Or you don't want me to back? It's your channel, so.
I don't understand if this is your entire argument is that you want to provide some examples of law enforcement in some cases or military in some cases doing the right thing. That's what you want to provide, when in fact we can provide so many more examples of them not doing the right thing, of them protecting their own, of them absolutely closing ranks. But you want to say, well, there are some exceptions to that. And we're supposed to go, oh, yay, there are some exceptions, so they're good, they're okay. They're not. They're not. If there were more people that were calling out others, then it would be okay. Then we could take your premise and we could move forward with it. But we can't.
Okay, because I'm familiar with the process that goes on, in the country with the actual soldiers. So, I can tell you from firsthand experience.
I don't care about your firsthand experience and your anecdotal bullshit. I can tell you from firsthand experience the exact opposite. How about that?
Okay.
So I can tell you the exact opposite. So which one of us? So which one of us is right from firsthand experience? Which one of us is right?
I'd love to hear your firsthand experience.
I don't think that you would, because I'm right and you're wrong with my firsthand experience, because my firsthand experience is right and your firsthand experience is wrong. So how are we going to determine? Oh, wait, we can't. So instead of using anecdotal evidence, what we can use is actual factual evidence that's objective instead of subjective anecdotes.
All right. Is there another point that I should move on to, or is this? I'm not sure how to proceed. It's yeah. I don't want to make an argument that's going to get it's really I don't know how to proceed in this. It's not a conversation. But you tell me where we go next.
Dude, you're the one who wants to defend ICE and military law enforcement, and your only argument is, well, they're not all bad.
No, I mean I think the mass majority of them are good, but I don't know if I'll be able to expose that argument, sufficiently. So I'm just I'm at a loss because I've never been told to shut up so much in a conversation, but yeah.
I guess that's what happens when somebody's asking you really simple, direct questions and you don't answer them.
I haven't answered your questions.
Nope. In fact, the last 2 days that you've been up, it's been literally like pulling teeth trying to get you to answer simple and direct questions.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what to say.
Have Palestinians been forcibly removed from their homes in the West Bank, yes or no?
I'm sure some have, yeah.
Cool. Yesterday when I asked you that question, it took you 20 minutes of dodging it, and you never said yes. Nice work. Congratulations.
Some have, yeah.
Awesome.
But Israelis have been removed from theirs
yesterday, when I asked you the question, you would not admit it. Even after playing video of it, you wouldn't admit it. Even after showing you independent evidence from the BBC, you wouldn't admit it.
Why? Because you asked if that was policy.
No, that's not what I asked. What I asked you was, have Palestinians... No, that's not what I asked, sir, and you can go back on YouTube and watch the fucking video. What I asked you was, have they been removed from the West Bank? That's what I said. And I also asked you the question straight up, are there places in the West Bank that Palestinians are not allowed to go? And you said, well, Arab or Israeli citizens. I said, that's not the question I'm asking. I'm specifically asking you, Palestinians. Well, Arab Israeli citizens. No, Palestinians. And I had to ask you a dozen times, and you wouldn't answer my question straight, even though you know and I know that the answer is they're not allowed to go anywhere they want. It's a fucking apartheid state. The reason you don't want to answer these questions is because it makes you uncomfortable to say that Israel is doing these things. You don't like to admit the fact that they are acting in the way that an apartheid state does, where one class of people is lower than the other class of people. They are treated lower than the other class of people. And the thing is, I know that's the Israeli government, because that's not Jewish people, because all of the Jewish people I know are some of the most wonderful and amazing people I have ever known in my entire fucking life. People who would give the shirts off their backs to help me if I needed. The most kind and generous and wonderful people I have ever fucking known. That is not the Jewish people. That's the Israeli government. And you can't separate the two. You think that if somebody's attacking Israel and the Israeli government, that they're attacking Jewish people, and you're taking it personally, and you can't separate the two.
I never said that.
You never said it, but that's how you feel, because you can't look reality straight in the fucking eye and actually answer some simple fucking questions.
I am, but you don't think there's a rationale for the restriction in the West Bank? I mean,
can I just point out, it is the Israeli government's policy to remove people from their homes in the West Bank. You said it's not policy. It is policy, according to the UN, Amnesty International, and a variety of other groups and sources. I can source this for you from multiple people if you would like me to. But the idea that this is not policy, it absolutely is policy.
For the family of terrorists, I believe it is, yeah.
No. Just normal people living in their homes, and they demolish their homes and resettle them elsewhere. It's been going on for decades. And the fact that you don't seem to know about that, the forced displacement of Palestinian people from the West Bank, the fact that you don't know about that means you don't know enough about this whole thing to have a conversation about it. I'm sorry to inform you of that. Because I was like, I'm sure that is actual policy. So guess what I did? Went and looked it up before I commented. Unlike you, who it appears haven't looked anything up.
Can you provide the cities that are being displaced, the neighborhoods that are being displaced?
No, sorry, I don't think you understand what a study is. A study would not be appropriate here. You would be asking for examples, not a study. This is not science, it is not psychology, it is not sociology, it is not medicine. This would not require a study, okay? But I can provide you with this. This is from the United Nations Human Rights Office of the High Commissioner. They're pretty important. They sound like they know what's going on. Israeli security forces have often used unnecessary or disproportionate force, including lethal force, against Palestinians who did not pose imminent threat to life. They then go on to talk about, hang on a moment, Israeli demolitions have displaced 2,907 Palestinians across the West Bank since 7th of October 2023. In the same period, a further 2,400 Palestinians, nearly half of them children, have been forcibly displaced as a result of the actions of Israeli settlers, thus emptying large parts of the West Bank of Palestinians.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's almost like yesterday when I said 3,000 people and you immediately corrected me and said that I was lying. It's almost like you shouted that at me and I said the number 3,000 and you called me a liar and said that I was a propagandist. Boy, that seems really close to 2,907, huh?
I was going to say, to be fair, Matt, you were out by 93 whole people.
I was.
Bad boy.
Wow. My bad.
Boy.
I apologize for rounding up. I do. I should have said 2,900 instead of 3,000. I apologize.
Well, hang on a moment, though. Don't forget the other 2,400 Palestinians that have been displaced by Israeli settlers. So actually, what are we talking about here? We're talking about, let me do some maths, 5,807.
Oh, wow.
5,807 total. That's a few, right?
You said you provided the link to that.
I didn't say I provided the link to it. I can tell you what it's called, though. This is a report from, it's press briefing notes, actually, from the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights.
I have it on the screen.
Have you got it up?
Yep. The OHCR. Israel must stop unalivings and home demolitions in occupied West Bank. From 15 July 2025.
Thanks. Yeah, screenshot it. Okay, I'll take a look. I've just in dealing with this before, run into the situations where when you dig deep into the information, then the surface story that's presented isn't accurate. But I don't want to start triggering a whole nother round of shouting, so I'll just leave it at that. And I appreciate the time and I appreciate the opportunity.
Oh no! Here's the thing, though. You can't say, oh, well, once I dig into it, you find there's not the... No. If you have evidence that can refute this, cool. If you can't, you actually have to admit, I was wrong. Palestinians are being forcibly displaced from the West Bank. It's one or the other. Either refute the point with evidence or say, I was wrong. Palestinians are being forcibly removed from the West Bank.
You tell me what I have to say.
Well, here's the thing, bud, is that we've shown you video evidence, multiple reports from independent sources, and you've given us fucking shit to back up your source. So you're fucking lying, number one, or you're just denying reality. So you can leave, and everyone here will know that you're just fucking denying reality, or you can be an actual functioning human being with a fucking brain and say, I was wrong. Palestinians are being forcibly removed from the West Bank. Which is it?
It's really unfair. You know what? It's fine.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I've never heard someone mix up so many words into one new before. That was cool.
I swear to God. That guy's a glutton for punishment. That's 3 fucking days in a row.
Wow. There we go.
Jeez.
Do you like my new jumper? I'm sporting a new sweater today.
I like it. It's very nice.
Thanks.
Look at you.
Thanks.
Look at you, Erica. It's lovely.
I know. Get me buying stuff. It's very unusual. I've very rarely buy anything. It is very 80s. I'm an 80s. I'm actually a 70s girl. Well, born in the 70s but raised in the 80s. So, a jumper is what we call a woolen sweater or like wool-like sweater. Yeah. And the not wool one we would call a sweatshirt. There we go. 2 nations divided by a common language.
That's true. Except for the fact that I was pointing out to Erica that Massachusetts is your closest cousin because we pronounce town names in the most similar way to you guys. That you can come here and be close on town pronunciation names, and the rest of fucking America gets it fucking wrong. All of you all get it fucking wrong. By the way, Trump supporters request on up. Trump supporters request on up.
Except, how would you say this place? Because I heard you say it, and I think you would say it differently to me. Gloucester.
Gloucester.
Oh no, you said it. I thought you said Gloucester. I was like, Gloucester. I think there are some of the places in Massachusetts though that have a ham on the end. People do actually pronounce the ham, though, don't they? Like Framingham.
No, well, other people do, but here here's the like I don't want to. Yeah,
Framingham.
Yeah, exactly. Like you get the much more compressed. If you're from here, you're like Wareham and stuff like that, and people are very rarely pulling out the whole ham. Ari says, "What did I get wrong?" I wasn't saying you got something wrong, Ari. I'm just saying that like America has trouble with Massachusetts town names because they're British names. And I'm saying that like British people and Massachusetts people on the whole get these names and can say them properly, but I feel like we're the only ones. This is like our own little like secret handshake with the UK.
Yeah. You say them the way that we say them.
Mostly.
Whereas the rest of America just makes shit up. My favorite American town name that is absolutely butchered is Versailles, Kentucky. That's my favorite one. Oh my
God, that's so bad. I didn't even realize that that's what they called it. Oh my God.
Yeah, Versailles, yeah.
Oh, wow, that's so bad. That makes me so mad. They really call it that? You guys, please no. Oh, please don't know.
Versailles.
I love me some Versailles too. Versailles is awesome. Love the gardens too. I love that you can rent a little golf cart and ride around the gardens. That's one of my all-time favorite things that I ever did was rent a golf cart and ride around the gardens. That was awesome. What a neat place.
Did you ride around shouting, "Let them eat cake"?
I did not, because I enjoy my head, and my head is important to me. I like it, and so, but it's everyone should go visit and go look at the gold leaf on everything and be reminded of what happens to those people. That's all.
It's
I'm
very
saying.
I loved the way that when they had the meeting in there, the guys in the Trump administration are saying, "Oh, this is very much like the White House." No, I think you'll find it's the other fucking way round.
Yeah. Also, I love the fact that on the tube, someone just commented, "Renting a golf cart is the best time, fucking pussy." Yeah, going to France and visiting Paris and getting to take a trip to Versailles Palace and getting to see the gardens there. On a trip to France and getting to rent a fucking golf cart to drive around the fucking grounds all over Versailles on your trip to Paris is fucking awesome. 100%. I strongly encourage all of you to do it. Although I'm assuming that what's his face over there on the tube probably can't afford something like that, so that's why he's a little jealous. It's okay, bud. One day maybe you can go there. It's okay. We understand. Maybe. By the way, there's a McDonald's right there at the train stop right outside of Versailles, which is funny. And that's the first time that I ever took a picture of a Royale with cheese, which was one of my all-time favorite things I ever did. Thank you.
If anyone happens to be in France and in Paris and you go to the McDonald's on the Champs-Élysées, it is the only McDonald's in the whole world that doesn't have yellow lights because it's like a local enforcement thing that on the Champs-Élysées all the lights have to be white.
That's correct.
So it's the only white McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds weird, but also interesting.
It's weird. The Champs-Élysées is all kinds of amazing. How are you, friend? What's up?
I'm good. How are you?
Living the dream.
I was editing the video.
Oh. About?
Donald Trump. We're going to put tariffs. Because Greenland.
The Greenland one. Yeah. By the way, I'm not sure who missed it the other night, but
oh yeah. His obnoxious pink hat.
I was like bro's going all in with the pink hat. All in with the pink hat. That was fucking awesome. I messaged Ari. I was like, Polly is such a good sport. Like just and so much cooler than all of our MAGA friends who will not under any circumstance honor a bet. Polly's like, I'm doing it. There you go. So total props to Polly. Really, seriously, he totally did it. So it was cool.
Yeah, literally, there's one MAGA that owes RJ and Diava money. RJ even was like, after the fact, was like, here, I'll accept this amount, but like you gotta pay. You agreed, my guy, and it's like, nah.
Oh
yeah, no.
He owes me $500.
Wait,
I want my money.
Which one?
Scotty.
Who is it?
A grown
What's
man
his name?
Still, Scotty. A grown man still calling himself Scotty with a Y.
I think I know which one that is. I think I know who you're talking about. I think
He was super Zionist.
Yeah,
think
he
I know
is
who you're talking
super
about.
Zionist. Like I've heard him before.
Oh my God, we have so many people that owe us money. Obviously, everyone here knows about popcorn. Oh, we've got that. What about that guy the other morning, RJ? There was that guy. Oh, it was Barker.
Oh, that was
Barker.
He was hammered, right?
No, it was Barker. Bet with us.
Oh.
Barker.
Barker never pays. Why would you make a bet with Barker?
Well,
He owes Ethan Baum like so much money. He's never make bets with Barker.
that was amazing.
Barker can't prove anything. He cannot prove anything. I've asked him direct questions and he'll just be like, Ari, are you still single? Or just something really dumb. He just
Ari,
goes straight to
That dude Scotty DM'd me over and over and over again to come to his live last night at 11 o'clock at night. Like an hour and a half past I'm sleeping anyway. And I told him straight up, I was like, dude, owe me my $500, pay up, and I will stay awake tonight and come to your live. He didn't do
Right.
that, and then this morning I woke up and he blocked me.
Oh, little baby bitch.
Who?
His name is literally Scotty Boy, I think, is what it
Yeah,
is.
Scotty boy.
It's like literally Scotty Boy. The guy, grown ass man in his 40s, calling himself Scotty with a Y and then also calling himself a boy.
It's fucking weird.
Matt, I don't know whether you've noticed this in the in the YouTube chat, but I think someone just called me delusional.
What does that mean? Bye, RJ.
Oh, you are.
It means I dilute things, presumably.
You are.
Oh, yeah, I know, but like, what does that mean in this context?
No one knows.
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, that's weird.
That's not that.
That's very strange. Yeah, Erica, you're delusional.
I am. I might make myself some Ribena, then I'll be delusional.
You might be delusional, but I'm not sure about diluting things. That seems a little bit weird.
Why?
Yeah.
Are you like what are you diluting? Where are you at that you would have any authority, like ability to dilute the atmosphere or the water?
I don't. These people. I don't know. We're the I've really come to notice already that the tube is just this is a whole different animal. It's a whole different thing. It's quite different. But
And there's a cat. That is a menace.
oh, hello, Kat. By the way, Trump supporters, if you're in the chat and you're here, we'd like to have a conversation with you. We've got well over 600 people in here on the TikTok side. We've got well over 250 people in over on the Tube side. You can join us here on TikTok, Politics of Matt. But we would like you to request that up and have a conversation with us. Come on up and let's have a chat. We'd like to chat. Just chat. Maybe you can do better than that last guy.
To
Do
the
we
people
want to
on,
have a conversation with them?
to the people on the tube who are saying, I want to request up, but how do I request up? You have to come onto TikTok, my lovelies. Otherwise, no dice, unfortunately.
I've done the solo thing once or twice with the phone number guys. We're still working on getting it worked out so that we can all use it. I'm sorry, Ari, what were you going to say?
Oh, no, that's actually what I was going to ask, is if you had figured that out yet or not.
No,
But it sounds like the answer is not really.
it's just the only thing. It's the one thing I keep getting stuck on. But the problem is that it's really hard to work on by yourself. It's really like I can't spend a bunch of time troubleshooting it on my own because I literally I have to be like in a live with someone else. It can't be me. I need someone else and I need someone calling in. So it's like I need
Yep.
So
You need a team of 3 people.
We can do that though, Matt.
I know,
That's
but
easily solvable.
I know, but I need like the time to sit down and do it. Don't forget, guys. Like I'm dad,
all
and
work.
like just stuff. Yeah, I know, I'm a dad. And stuff going on. So I need time to like sit down and get a live going.
You're a dad? No way.
I know, right? It's crazy. I know. Oh yeah. Emmett, hi. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. How old are you? What state
sure?
did you vote in?
Were you on that one podcast?
Probably.
Were you on a podcast?
Probably.
Or
I
whatever
don't know who you're
podcast?
talking to. Who are you talking to?
Anyways, well, I'm sorry. Repeat the question.
How old are you and what state did you vote in?
I'm 22. I'm from Ohio.
Cool. Did you want to discuss with us one of the subjects that we have above or something else that Donald Trump is doing right now?
I think ICE is doing a pretty good job.
Oh.
Doing the best they can, really.
Oh. You support ICE shooting a woman 3 times or permanently injuring a 21-year-old?
It should have been 5.
You're not a real person.
Yeah.
I am.
You're doing a great job
You
trolling.
don't
I'm not
Emmett
trolling.
doesn't, guys. Emmett doesn't like laws. Apparently,
I'm not trolling.
Emmett
Swear to
doesn't
God.
like laws, and he doesn't.
May God strike my kids dead if I'm lying.
Oh, ugh. Why
I'm
would you
not
wish that
trolling.
upon your kids? That's fucked up, my
Yeah.
guy.
Exactly. So I'm
Little.
not trolling.
That
So don't say I'm a troll.
Can you
I was
turn on
doing
your
two things
camera?
at once. I was stuttering a little bit. I'm
Ah,
he
sorry.
doesn't. He doesn't have access. No.
He doesn't have camera access.
I don't have
So,
camera. Actually. I don't want
Emmett,
camera.
I'm curious if let's see, if an ICE officer rolls up to your car and starts pulling on your door and tries to force you out of it, or by the way, you're a United States citizen, they have no authority to pull you out of your car, to be very clear. And you make sure that you're not running towards them with your vehicle and your attempt to flee, because again, they have no right to detain you in that way. Is it okay? Should we celebrate it when you get shot?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not like. I mean, like she literally tried to run over an ICE agent.
No,
And where
she didn't.
and,
She
and where
purposely-
is it legal to do that?
It's also not legal for him to utilize.
It's legal to
deadly
just
force.
flee law enforcement, is what you're saying. It's okay.
He's not law enforcement. He is ICE. He's Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
Yeah, and
They
not
have no authority.
yeah, and not only that. To piggyback of what Ari just said, is it legal to flee law enforcement? No. So if it was police, the answer would be no. If it was the police, let's play a little pretend game. Let's pretend that it was the police and they were allowed to detain her, even though that's not the situation here. But let's play pretend. They still wouldn't be allowed to shoot her to stop her from fleeing.
Why?
Because the law is very clear that is not okay. And the reason that's not okay is because the Supreme Court, since 1985 in Garner, has ruled multiple times that putting yourself in harm's way and then shooting somebody because you felt like you were in danger is not okay. That's officer-induced jeopardy. The Supreme
Wait,
Court.
so the right to
Excuse me, I'm literally in the middle of
self-defense is not
in the
okay.
middle of explaining something to you that you don't know about. Unless you'd like to explain Garner to us.
Well, you just said
Would you
something
like to
dumb.
explain Garner to us, sir? Can you explain Garner, the
Well, there's
Garner
another
decision?
one.
Would you like to explain
There's
Gardner
another
to
one.
us?
Yes, I
There's
would.
another one I know he doesn't know about,
Okay, go ahead.
right? It's actually a more recent one. It's a 2004 Supreme Court ruling. Emmett, you do know who the Supreme Court of the United States is, right?
Yeah, Clarence Thomas. He's my nigga. We talk all the time.
Cool. I'm sure you do.
Understood.
So this is just more troll.
Yeah.
I'm not trolling.
Brousseau v. Haugen, it literally explicitly states that it does not authorize officers to create danger by positioning themselves in front of a vehicle. The court emphasized that outcomes turn on trajectory, immediacy, and whether the danger was imposed by the suspect and not manufactured by the police officer's personal placement of their own body. The court explicitly acknowledged cases where stepping into a vehicle's path undermines the justification for the use of deadly force.
Is it my turn to respond?
Can you acknowledge what I said?
No, I acknowledge it.
And
Uh,
so condemn
I disagree
Officer
in that
Ross.
situation. I think that it was well
Condemn
deserved.
Officer Ross.
And you know, I don't want to see anybody get unalived by any.
Condemn Officer
but,
Ross.
You know, I think it was.
No one's asking you to monologue. We're asking you to condemn him because you've been proven wrong.
No, I'm not going to condemn it.
Yeah, we know that.
Okay, bye, Pookie.
Yeah, of course you're gonna.
Yep. By the way, TikTok, we don't condone what that last guest said, and we decided to drop him due to his actions and his language. Thank you. We do love the TikTok shop, though, very, very much. I mean, I can't even begin to
Sometimes.
explain to you how much we love the TikTok shop. By the way, if you guys haven't already, please grab a copy of People's History of the United States. It's one of my all-time favorite books. It's in my showcase, and I strongly recommend it to all of you. But also, Even if you don't get it from my showcase, get it from like the library or used bookstore or something like that. That's totally fine too.
You just reminded me, I did get a TikTok shop delivery of the Go F Yourself card game. That's basically like Go Fish.
Oh.
I saw that and I was like, yeah, I want that. And they had like a Jesus edition of it too, so I bought that one too, and a Boomers edition. So I was like, yeah, I'll do a 3-pack. Let's go. I gotta get it out of my mailbox.
Oh boy.
So yeah, I got the email saying it was finally delivered today, and I was like, this sounds like fun. Go fuck yourself.
That sounds
Instead of
like
Go
fun.
Fish, Go F Yourself,
Go F
guys.
yourself. I like that. I want to play Go F yourself.
Yeah.
Nice. Maybe I'll get it for my daughter. All right,
I can play that with you, Matt. I tell you to go F yourself all the time.
That's true. By the way, thank you to Catherine on the Green app. Catherine said, pronounce Peabody properly for the class. Peabody. Not Peabody. Peabody. Thank you very much. Yeah, Erica, she's 9, and I'm teaching her to curse properly so that she'll grow up to be smart. Thank you very much. Father Roman, hi, did you vote for Donald Trump?
I approve.
Hello, and I didn't vote, but I am on the right.
Okay, you're a Trump supporter?
I don't agree with everything he does, but I am on the right.
Okay, do you consider yourself to be a Trump supporter, yes or no?
I support him to an extent, but I wouldn't say I'm a part of a MAGA group.
Okay. First off, I want to say welcome in to our Moni Raiders. Welcome in, friends. If you're not following our friend, just Moni, you should be. Thank you, Moni Ray. We appreciate you guys very much. We're glad that you're here. Can you give us your age and your state, please?
23, New York.
Okay. Would you like to discuss one of the subjects above or something else that Donald Trump is currently doing?
Yeah, so with ICE, let's say for the sake of the argument, I say that I agree. ICE is a domestic terrorist group, which I don't believe, but let's say I agree with that. Okay. So what?
Okay. So
why does that make ICE bad?
Why does a government organization acting as a domestic terrorist group, why is that bad? That's your...
Yes, why would that make them bad?
That's an interesting way to phrase a question. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I'd like to hear the argument for it.
Operating outside of the bounds of law enforcement and basically saying that they have unlimited immunity, like they can't get charged for their actions, then that means that there's no reasonable way for the United States to rein them in when they have bad actors placed inside of them. Does that make sense?
But I don't understand what makes it bad.
Bad actors unlawfully killing or severely injuring an individual that was engaging in peaceful protest.
Again, I'm not hearing the part that makes ICE bad.
Hang on,
Well,
Father Roman. Do you have respect for U.S. laws? Do you have respect for the U.S. Constitution?
To an extent, I don't agree with every single law or every aspect of the Constitution.
What does to an extent mean? Which parts of it don't you like?
There's laws I'll agree with, and there's laws I don't agree with.
Like what? What
Like,
don't you agree with?
for example, I don't agree with abortion. I don't believe in the right
That's
to
not part of
have
the
an abortion.
Constitution. That's not in the Constitution. What part of the Constitution do you
Okay,
not
if you
agree
want
with?
to talk, if you want to talk specifically about the Constitution, I don't believe that everyone has the right to vote.
Oh, who doesn't deserve the right to vote? I'm just curious.
Most people.
Like
That's
who?
not the question that I asked you.
I said most people, not any specific group.
Okay. You're just weird. Anyway, so when it comes to like ICE, and let's be very clear, this guy is just something special.
Well, what's
do you
the
like
argument?
Do you like Vivek Ramaswamy?
No.
Interesting. Okay. So when it comes to ICE and their current actions after what occurred with Renee Nicole Good, have you not seen the follow-up videos where ICE is even outside of Minneapolis are telling protesters, quote, Did you not learn from what just happened while they're engaging in like borderline police brutality?
What about it?
Or what the fuck did you not understand?
Again, you're not saying why would ICE be bad?
I literally just did. Which word
But
did
why
you
is
not
that bad?
understand?
Why is that
Oh,
bad though?
are you just dense?
You're not telling me anything why it would be
Now,
bad.
did what I say make sense?
It actually did, Ari.
Thank you.
Here, let me try it a different way. Sir, do you believe somebody in custody in a holding facility should be unalived by being choked to unalivement?
It depends.
They weren't doing anything wrong.
It depends.
What do you mean it depends? You believe
Does it
somebody
put
that's already in custody in a holding facility should be unalived for no reason?
does it put the interests of the country first?
Oh boy. Ari,
I,
I don't know if I could have made it any clearer.
So
Because you have no argument. Because I'm not falling into your dialogue tree of a narrative.
No, sir.
What's wrong with that?
It's not a dialogue that's your problem. It's empathy. It's caring for your neighbor.
Yeah,
It's caring about other U.S. citizens other than yourself.
well, it's actually
yeah, I have
actually,
but
Val, it's more than
look,
that. No. I'm just going to stop you. It's more than that. It's just you don't care about the fundamental tenets of our Constitution and due process. Because if you cared about the fundamental tenets of our Constitution and due process, you would say, of course, I don't want someone to be unalived in that way because they're due their day in court. They're a U.S. citizen or not, because the law also applies to them even if they're not. And so as a person, our Constitution applies to them, and I believe in the U.S. Constitution.
yes, see, this is just an appeal to legality.
No,
And
it's not
as
an
it
appeal
comes
to legality,
empathy,
sir. It's the U.S.
that is.
Constitution. So if you live in the United States of America, you fall under the jurisdiction of the United States Constitution. If you don't like it, leave.
Doesn't mean I have to agree with everything in the Constitution.
If you don't like the U.S. Constitution, leave.
Leave.
Yep, leave. Go somewhere else. It's our law.
Again,
it's our
an appeal to
jurisdiction.
legality.
Nope, it's not an appeal
So
to legality.
apparently-
No.
He
No, sir,
doesn't.
we
Apparently,
are.
dude is obsessed with Dean Withers, anyways, because I guess his page is full of it. And RJ basically called him the embodiment of a Twitter troll. So
Oh, okay.
Well, this guy Matt's want to talk. All of his videos are about older millennials. So what?
yeah, I
So
know,
what if my
because older
videos are about
millennials are a
young
piece of
people?
shit, just like you.
older millennial is at least a fucking total ass adult. Like Dean Withers is a 20-year-old kid. Like he is an adult. He's just still very young. Like he's 20 years old. He still has room to grow. Like you, sir, are supposed to be an adult and you're obsessed with a 20-year-old. That's weird. 21, thank you.
Sorry, Erica, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, I wonder if he didn't vote because he didn't think that he should vote, because presumably if most people shouldn't get a vote, he is one of those people, and therefore he kindly removed himself from the voting system. Either that or he's a felon. I might go for number 2.
Number 2 seems
That's
more
funny.
likely to me.
I
The-
I agree with that.
But the thing is like his argument on I don't think everyone should be able to vote in America. Well, the Constitution thinks the same way, sir, if you're still listening. The Constitution believes, as far as federal elections, only U.S. citizens should be able to vote.
By the way, I just really want to point something out about that guy trying to do appeal to legality as the argument. You would use appeal to legality by in a situation like by saying like, well, for example, like in South Africa when apartheid was basically legal, you'd be like, well, it's the law, so therefore it's okay. That's an appeal to legality. Saying we live in America and all people are given their due process under the Constitution, and trying to make the argument that due process is not okay and that's an appeal to legality. I like that doesn't fit that. It doesn't fit that definition of that argument. That's not what that is. It's a different thing. Just FYI.
Oh, I have a hate fan in the comments. Oh, you're so cute.
Ari and Val, I'll tell you what I was gonna suggest that one of you drop, but I'm gonna keep you guys up because I was hoping we would have a little bit more time with that guest. So we'll do one more with our friends here. Because I don't want to have too many people up because we're having trouble getting ops, but I want to keep you guys. So let's do one more. Alex, hi, did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did.
Okay, how old are you and what state did you vote in, sir?
25, and I voted in Pennsylvania.
Okay, great. So would you like to discuss one of the subjects above or something else that Donald Trump's doing right now?
Yes, I do. Actually, the ICE specifically. Also, sorry, this is never used TikTok before, so you guys through the YouTube shorts. Specifically, I do disagree that ICE is a domestic terrorist group, mostly because I identify myself as a more moderate voter, but not moderate as in like I'm too ashamed to say I'm pro-Trump. Genuinely, I agree with the two other statements you have listed. So with the ICE specifically, why I can't call it a domestic terrorist group is because it seems like the ICE activity in the country seems way too blown out of proportion by the media to me. So things that are get reported on versus things that are actually happening, I don't believe that the scale is as big to justify calling it a domestic terrorist group.
Sir, do you know who the Proud Boys are?
Yes, I do.
Were they and are they considered a domestic T group?
I don't know if they are, but I believe
They actually are. Do you know
January
they
6th
actually
should
are?
be. Yeah.
They actually are by the FBI. Do you know who the oath keepers are?
I'm assuming another terrorist group. I do not.
Right. Another white supremacist group. Do you
Okay.
know who the Boogaloo Boys are?
If you don't mind, may I ask where's this leading up to? Because I am a little bit.
Get there right after this. If you don't know who they are also considered a domestic T group out of Texas. Okay. Now, sir, out of the percentage of officers that have been hired to ICE, how many of them came from those three groups?
Oh, very good question. Don't know.
How many of them do you know of that were part of January 6th?
Now that I do know, that has been quite a lot of them.
Quite a lot of them. And
Okay.
Donald Trump pardoned all those people from January 6th, correct?
Yes, disagree with that.
Okay, so now we know that most of them were in January 6th. We know that Donald Trump pardoned them. What was the next thing Donald Trump did?
Do you mind if I make a assumption of your?
Oh no! I'm controlling the narrative here. So what did Donald Trump do after that? What did the DHS and Donald Trump do after that?
I'm sorry. If you have something to say, could you please say it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, sir, they were then hired, most of them, to DHS, specifically to ICE. Now, sir, I'm going to ask you a very simple question. If members from three groups that are considered T groups by the FBI now work for ICE, what is ICE?
I'm gonna cut you off here because what percent of those people also work for local police departments or have worked for it? What percent of them work for
Good
even
spin,
something
sir,
equal? I'm just
but
saying.
over 50% of the people that were hired into ICE in the first hiring they had after he got the budget for that
Mhm.
were from those three groups. Now I'm going to ask you that question again. If 50% of the members from those groups, all those groups considered as T groups,
Mhm.
What's that make ICE?
I'm gonna say it doesn't make it a terrorist organization because
Sir, if five
Whoa.
Nazis sit at a
Hold
table
on,
and you sit with them, how many Nazis are at the table?
5 Nazis. If you have
Six.
50%, if you have
Six, sir.
50% of a,
Six, sir.
if
Six
you
is
have
the right
50% of a post office to be from these organizations that you have described, is the post office suddenly a terrorist organization?
They wouldn't actually, believe it or not, the post office, they wouldn't actually be able to go to work for.
I'd like to, Alex. Let me clear. I'd like to clear something up. By the way, thank you, the last guest with Daryl on the Green app. Thank you, Daryl. That was very kind of you. As you related to Roman, I just want to say thank you very much for that. I appreciate you very much, Alex. What's the definition of terrorism? The textbook definition of terrorism, not what you think that it is. Do you know the actual definition of the word?
I won't be able to give you the definition. I can tell you what I see as terrorism.
No, I actually don't want your thought on it. I want to know what the actual. I want to read you the actual definition of the word because we want to go off of definition, right? Real definitions, right? Because we should be accurate. It's the unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims. So if we have a group of people that are using violence and intimidation against a civilian population in the effort to push a political narrative, it is the literal definition of terrorism.
And do you consider the 47% of arrests that ICE made that are come from local prisons, one violent?
I'm sorry, I wasn't talking about arrests from prisons. What I was talking about is violence on.
Okay,
excuse
no,
me,
hold
hey,
on,
bud.
hold
Hey,
on.
no, not hold on, Alex. Excuse me. I'm
You
in the
have
middle.
interrupted
Excuse me,
the
Alex.
entire call.
I didn't ask you a question for you to ask me a question back. I asked you a question to get an answer. If you want to pivot and have a conversation with yourself where you just rattle off things, great. I don't give a fuck if ICE is arresting criminals. That's fucking great. Good for them. I do care if ICE is cracking the skull of a 17-year-old kid in Target because you called them some names. I do care if ICE shoots an unarmed woman in her car and murders her in cold blood. That I care about. That's called violence against citizens. Do you understand the difference, Alex? And now I'm going to invite you to unmute because I muted you.
I understand the difference.
Then why are you
I'm telling
bringing
you.
up? Then why are you bringing up them arresting criminals? Because that's not what we're talking about in relation to them being terrorists. We're talking about their attacks on U.S. citizens and the civilian populace, sir.
Because you're bringing up officers who have broke policy, who should be prosecuted for unlawful conduct, and painting the entire organization of, as you say, whether it's using legal pretext or not using legal pretext, as them.
Yeah, because it is encouraging the poor behavior of other officers after the fact, right? So we have plenty of video evidence throughout Minneapolis, not only just Minneapolis, but other states where they're performing their mass searches in, of ICE officers asking a question, did you guys learn nothing? Yesterday, like specifically the next day after Renee Good was unfortunately killed, right? Was literally, did you learn nothing from them?
Here's a Alex, I have a question for you. If what you're saying is true, because Ari brings up a very good point, and I'll piggyback right off of that. If what you're saying is true, and it's just a couple of bad actors, right? It's just a couple of people who are doing the thing, and it's not really representative of the whole, right? If that's the case,
Sure.
Great. If that's the case, why is it that the administration itself is actually 100% behind them in doing this? So if the administration is 100% behind them and encouraging it, it's not just, oh, it's an isolated incident, it's just a one time, because here, sir, is Stephen Miller on Fox News, on the most watched cable news network, the assistant or the deputy chief of staff, the second most powerful person in the West Wing, saying this.
To all ICE officers, you have federal immunity in the conduct of your duties. And anybody who lays a hand on you or tries to stop you or tries to obstruct you is committing a felony. You have immunity to perform your duties, and no one, no city official, no state official, no illegal alien, no leftist agitator or domestic insurrectionist can prevent you from fulfilling your legal obligations and duties. And the Department of Justice has made clear that if officials cross that line into obstruction, into criminal conspiracy against the United States or against ICE officers, then they will face justice.
So not only citizens, not only undocumented people, but officials, even officials. Are you going to sit there now and actually say that they're really it's just a couple of people and they're not actually promoting this?
Well, first of all, I'm not just gonna sit there, because I have also been acting against this, because yeah, I completely agree with you. There is a complete mismanagement of the agency. And when your leadership encourages this bad behavior, one example I'll give you from, well, some place that's not that far from me, Philadelphia. I'm very proud of our DA, for example, setting their foot down and telling that, hey, if you stay masked, if you arrest people wildly and without court orders, you will be arrested yourself and taken to jail, because that's the proper thing to do. That's the proper way to do. And as far as I know, we have recently got our ICE guests in the city of Philadelphia. We had protests, but we haven't had any violence since, because our police department has set a clear line, and whatever the enforcement they have been doing has been going through, as far as I know, peacefully. And I think that's how it should be going in every state. With Minnesota, I find it a little ridiculous that we have deployed 3,000 ICE agents to a state with, 6 people total, when they only have 600 officers for their police department. Once again, that's mismanagement of resources.
Is it
hold on,
time out. Is it mismanagement, or is it being done entirely on purpose for the reasons that we're stating?
Partisanly.
What? But that's the thing. What is the reason you stated? Are you stating that the U.S. government is encouraging?
The answers on the podium in the picture.
There, I'll bring you up, Val. And this is and this is one of ours, all of yours. Do you want to explain exactly that one, Val?
One of ours, all of yours, is a statement from 1941 Germany. And the head of the SS in Germany went into a Slavic country, and when they went into that country, one of their officers got unalived. And when that officer was unalived, the head of the SS ordered every man in that city unalived, and they did it. And then they also took all the women and children and took them and sent them to Auschwitz, where we all know eventually what happened to them. Over 130,000 people unalived. And sir, they did it under the slogan that you're reading on that podium.
And I'd like to point out one other thing. That's one example we have multiple examples now of DHS and the executive branch since the beginning of the year using multiple neo-schmazi and white supremacist songs and slogans and ideology on official government websites and social media platforms. Multiple examples now. The reason that this is happening is not mismanagement. It's being perfectly managed exactly how they want. This is exactly what they want to do. And the reason they want to do it is they want violence and intimidation against civilians to push their political aims. The exact definition of terrorism, sir.
Well, the part that doesn't make sense for me is you're saying that the party in power is committing terrorism, while I would like to
They're
point out that
violating the Constitution. They're violating established case law set forth by the United States Supreme Court. They're ignoring Congress. They're ignoring judicial orders. How many laws do they have to violate, I guess, until you understand?
I thought I made myself fairly clear that I am pro following the law. And one other thing I would like to bring up and encourage is for people in their states to actually call their local governments and also make their statements clear, because if you talk to your representatives, you should be able to get a
My
state of affairs
representative
that
is
is
Rick Scott in Congress. He doesn't give two shits about this state. He stole $4 million worth of Medicaid funds from my state. He doesn't give a shit.
My representatives all care very, very much, and they're doing everything possible. But unfortunately, we live in a government where we have two parties. And if you're in the minority party in both houses of Congress, and the Supreme Court is at a 6-3 disadvantage, conservative to liberal, and the Republicans won't do anything to rein in a president who's decided that the executive fucking plenary authority theory is the way that they're going.
Not a thing.
Which is not really a thing and not at all legal, but they've just decided like, oh yeah, the executive just gets complete authority, and all of the Republicans are going along with it and have decided to fucking throw out checks and balances after 240 or 50 years because fuck it, right? Yeah, there's not really much you can do. Call your fucking representatives all you want. If your representatives are Republican, you're fucked. They're not doing their job, sir. You're delusional.
Oh, a few of them are, but
Yeah,
unfortunately, we've seen that
this is true.
several of them still lose their backbone when they're asked questions or they're pressured on it. Like Hawley in the Senate and saying that he was going to vote for the War Powers Act and then changed his fucking mind to limit the presidential authority for what he did in Venezuela and make it just for every country. Go in and I assume probably end up doing that to somewhere like Greenland as Donald Trump promised. But I gotta drop because I gotta head back to work. But good luck with Alex and
Follow our friend Ari. We love our friend Ari. We love you, Ari.
you guys.
Thanks, friend. All right,
Well-
catch you later.
Thank you, Ari.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Can
for
I,
the show.
can I just point something else out? State terrorism is 100% a thing. It sounded very much like the claim that you were making was because they are the government, it wouldn't count. Actually, it does. It's called state terrorism when the state inflicts terror on their own people. And it's happened multiple times throughout history.
Yeah. So do you mind if I tell you what I have heard from you from your point of view? You can correct me if I misunderstood your point. Because I think I can give a concession that I think we can all be happy with as we wrap up my stay. Is that fine with you?
Sure, go for it.
So, one of the big examples is we're taking ICE as a domestic terrorism group, specifically due to the violent acts and rhetoric that has been committed in the state of Minnesota currently. With the leadership fully backing them up with these and not encouraging any prosecution through state law or federal. I believe J.D. Vance recently mentioned something about absolute immunity. And with that, that basically making it a an act of state terrorism. Would you say that's a fair statement?
Absolutely not. I am 100% referencing what's happened in Chicago. For example, the raid on the apartment building using Black Hawk helicopters, ripping American citizens out of their apartment building and zip tying them in the cold and the rain, including children. Absolutely would include that. I would include what's happened in Portland with their assaults on protesters there, and I would include what's happened in L.A., sir. I am 100% not just referring to what's happened in Minnesota. This is happening all across the country. By the way, I live in Massachusetts, and we are hearing very, very, very strong signals all across the state, and everything that I've heard from law enforcement friends and people in the legal community, that there is a strong contingent now that is going to be turning their eyes towards our state next, because we're a blue state. So, have you noticed the pattern of where they go and what they do?
And don't forget El Paso yesterday.
Oh, El Paso, absolutely, Val, absolutely. So no, I absolutely need to correct you. We're talking about the totality. The thing that's just happened in Minnesota has now been the proverbial cherry on top, and I don't say that jokingly. I just mean it, that's just been like the latest final thing on the top of the cake.
Or the straw that broke the camel's back.
Thank you. The straw that broke.
Yeah,
thank you. The straw that broke the camel's
analogy.
back. Thank you. Because I'm certainly not trying to make light of the situation. So yeah, it's the totality of all of those events, sir.
Okay, I understand your point. With my point being that we have had the bad cases with the officers, specifically I'm referring to cook shooting, and current conflicts that we have happening with the protests and the ICE agents, while I believe are immoral and should be condemned and properly prosecuted, I don't believe that makes it a terrorist group due to the lack of scale and
Well, hang on a minute. Don't do the scale thing, right? Because if we look at any terrorist organization, the vast majority of the people involved in that terrorist organization are not involved in the actual acts of terrorism themselves. You have all of the people that are involved in getting the funding for the terrorism to occur, the people that have the ideology, and are able to go out to other people with that ideology and secure the funding for that group. The vast majority of people involved in any terrorist organization are not involved in the actual terrorism. That's very few people that actually commit the acts of terrorism. Okay, the vast majority of them are not. They are the people that are supporting it and upholding the ideology that allows the terrorism to happen in the first place. And the idea that just because, first of all, you have ICE agents all over the United States right now who are contravening laws of search and seizure, who are contravening laws of due process. All of those people are acting in a way that is causing the general populace to be afraid. It is not just the people that are out on the streets pew-pewing other people that are the ones that are committing acts of terrorism. And the idea that you, who have said multiple times up here that you don't support this and you have reservations and la la la, would still sit here and say, yeah, but I don't think that they're really. At what point, Alex, do they become a terrorist organization in your mind?
At what point would they become a terrorist organization of mine? Well, one thing, for example, would be just ban on protests of ICE.
Well, ICE wouldn't. Hang on, ICE wouldn't be involved in banning protests on ICE.
Well, you did tell me that everyone involved in the organization would be a part, so they wouldn't be. But let's say if an executive order comes out or some sort of Congress action, yeah, I think that would be a very legitimate concern.
Is ICE officers confronting people that are following them and saying, which by the way is their First Amendment right, and saying to those people, you need to be careful, didn't you learn anything from what happened a couple of days ago? You don't think that's individual ICE officers trying to stop people from protesting by threatening them with being unalived if they continue?
Well, didn't you learn anything? The way I would interpret it is it's discouraging.
I don't care how you would. I don't care how you would interpret it, Alex.
If you don't care, then why have me up here?
Alex, my bag of fucks is empty. I have no more fucks left to give. Okay. The idea that you are saying, oh, I don't think they're really threatening to unalive. Of course, that's what they're doing.
That's exactly the meaning behind that statement. And sir, I think we kind of skipped over something. We brought it up, but we kind of skipped over it a little bit. Sir, do you know what plenary power is?
Before I invite you to mute, Alex, and have you answer that question real quick, I just want to say thank you, Crystal. Thank you to the Twister Raiders. Appreciate you guys coming in. Also want to say, guys, we just hit 100,000 likes. We really should be way higher than that because we've got 900 people in here over on the TikToks. So if we can please, let's double that number here as quickly as we can. Please help out with the live goal and help out with our friends Erica and Val over here. Also, everyone, including myself, we've got links in our bios if you would like to support. If you're over on the TikTok side, please make sure that you're subscribed to myself, subscribe to our friend Erica. Her link is right here in the description. Also, links to support us are in the description as well. I really do thank you guys very much. Appreciate you guys. All right, Alex, if you could please answer Val's question. Do you know what plenary authority is? You know what that is, what we're talking about?
I mentioned no.
Okay, so plenary power or authority is absolute authority. In other words, absolute authority over the government. Does our Constitution allow for that from the president or the executive branch?
No.
Did you say no? Sorry.
Yes, I did say no.
Okay, so why is Stephen Miller coming on live TV on the news and saying that the president is going to use his plenary power?
Why are you asking me? I despise Stephen Miller. I don't know what you want me to say.
Well, if the president wants to use plenary power, which he's trying to do, obviously, right? He's not listening to the rulings from the courts. He's not going through Congress when he should for things that he's supposed to go through for, right?
Sure.
So what's that make him in terms of our Constitution when he's trying to use plenary power in this country?
Are you looking for a dictator, or are you?
That would be part of it, but per our Constitution, what does that make him?
I don't know.
Treasonist.
Well,
if you took an oath to that Constitution, right? He stood up there and took an oath to that Constitution, right?
Of course.
When you don't follow the Constitution of this country the way he's doing it, and especially
going after Articles 1, 2, and 3. You have then, in my eyes, committed treason.
Go on.
I don't think he needs to go on, Alex. I think that was pretty self-explanatory. If you've taken an oath to the Constitution, and then you are trying to claim that what the Constitution says is incorrect, and the president has some kind of unitary executive power to decide whatever he wants to, then you are, by definition, a traitor.
And have I said that? Because you asked me what would need to happen for me to consider, let's say, ICE a domestic terrorist group. And I've basically given you an answer which you have explained fairly well. I would say, yeah. When what you define as treason happens, I think that would make it a domestic terrorist group.
Why are you so... this is the thing that's confusing me. I don't understand why you would come up on a panel and argue this. And I'll tell you why. It's super simple. You are saying out of one side of your mouth that you don't like ICE and you think that they're abusing their authority and all of this stuff, but on the other side you are trying to protect them. I don't understand your reason for arguing this.
I think I can try to explain it for you. So specifically to me, ICE feels like, and I say feels like because this is partially why I'm at this panel. I know you guys have good sources, good facts. I mean, Val here has very clear definitions, I think. To me, it feels like an issue that's getting overcovered. I have seen this happen before to my side, and I believe still happening with, for example, how we approach all of the trans stuff, because it's such a minor part of it. I'm sorry, do you mind if I finish?
No, I do. Actually, I do mind. What's your side? What do you mean? It's happened to my side before. What is your side?
Moderate. I think I have mentioned it.
You don't sound like a moderate to me, Alex.
People who are moderate don't say my side. That's not really a thing that they do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's weird. By the way, Alex, where are you from originally? Just out of curiosity.
Originally, I'm from Ukraine.
Oh, you're from
I moved here in 2014, and I got my citizenship in 2020.
That's nice. Wow, you're really that's really lucky of you. Naturalized U.S. citizen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. What's going to happen when the Trump administration decides, as they're trying to do right now, that they want to get rid of naturalized citizens? That's going to suck, huh?
Well, if that sucks, that would suck.
Yeah, I know, right? I guess that'd be a real problem for you, huh? Man. I wouldn't be defending these guys in any way, manner, shape, or form. And by the way, when you say something like, "Oh, I feel like they're blowing this out of proportion," how many people have died in ICE custody in the year 2025? I can tell you off the top of my head, it's 32. 32 people have died in ICE custody in the year of 2025. How many undocumented immigrants committed a schmurder in all of 2024? Because we don't have the number for 2025. But in all of 2024, how many schmurders were committed by undocumented immigrants?
Well, we haven't documented any.
No, we have, because we know we have the statistics on schmurders committed by undocumented immigrants, and the number for 2024 is 29. That means that in the last year, ICE has unalived more people in its own custody than the people that they're trying to protect us from. That's why this is a big deal. That's why this isn't blowing anything out of proportion. That's why this is different than it used to be. When you have masked men running around the country treading on the rights of U.S. citizens. And I was calling it the Gestapo because I thought that that was the closest comparison that we had. And then I saw a brilliant video last night that our friend Nemo showed us. And that video, which I will gladly play for you guys again here in a little bit, actually brings up an excellent point. It's not the Gestapo. They're much more like the original slave catchers in America, sanctioned by the government right here in America, going around asking people, do you have papers? And then if they didn't, if they couldn't prove it, even if they were free, even if they were a free man, they would just put them in shackles and haul them away, and then that was it. You'd never see them again.
I contend it even gets worse than that. I mean, I know the official number that we have is 32. I don't know that that number can be validated in any way, especially when we know there is still 1,500 people from Alligator Alcatraz missing alone.
Yep. Yeah. That's just Val's 100% right. I was just that's literally just a confirmed number, but it's absolutely fucking absurd.
Well,
while he's thinking about that, Matt, I've got to drop. I've got a meeting to get to. I got to do liberal things like work.
Yeah, you dirty woke liberal guys. Can we get W's always for our friend Val? Val, we love you. Please make sure you're following Val, and we'll catch you later, friend. Okay.
Bye, buddy.
All right, bye. All right. Much love, Val.
All right. Well, once again, I think I've made my point clear.
No,
I think you guys gave me something.
You really haven't made it. You really haven't made a point.
Well, you did mention that you don't care about my point.
No. We want to know what your point is. You just haven't made one.
Am I allowed to, or am I gonna get interrupted again, or what's
you would actually have to make you need to make an actual fucking point. Like you keep trying to say. Oh,
here, I'm gonna make a point then.
All right,
I would
go.
Just a minute, you. 2025, ICE has detained 72,000 people. You want to say you say 32 of them have died in custody, which to me is a question of have they died in custody due to questions of abuse or due to people dying to natural circumstances or to potential traumas that happened beforehand. Then the second point is that I think calling it a domestic terrorist group is over-exaggerating when talking to your domestic representatives can get the process a lot more peaceful and a lot less scary. For example, Philadelphia, which if your local politicians are not there to represent you, it is in your power to get involved in your local elections and get those people, elected. For my county last election, I believe the total votes were less than 10,000, which is a lot more manageable than changing the vote across the entire country. So I think calling it a domestic terrorist organization is unproductive when there are very legal ways that you can make the situation better for now and the long term.
Awesome. Can you explain the supremacy clause in the Constitution to us all, please?
I believe the clause goes that the federal agents performing federal tasks take precedence over the local.
Cool. So how is it that if you can do anything with your local representatives, how are they going to stop ICE from performing these actions in your communities?
Once again, if the crimes are committed,
how are these?
They can arrest them.
I
If they
asked
have-
you a specific question, sir, and I don't want you to dance around it. And by the way, I'll help you. Let me help you out. The answer is they can't. Let me answer for you, because it seems like you're just not going to answer the question. So let me help you. They can't. They can't stop ICE from coming in. If they could, they would, but they can't. So what you just said is completely fucking disingenuous. You've also just said, well, just vote them out and they'll do it. Even the people that want them to be out can't do that because we live in a two-party system. You can live in an area such as Texas where you'll get a city, right? You'll get a city that's an entire blue pocket of people. They don't want ICE to be there, but they've been gerrymandered to fuck. And so because they've been gerrymandered to fuck and the city's been sliced and diced in a bunch of different ways, they have a Republican representative. They have no choice. What you're saying literally ignores the electoral process in America. It's almost like when you took your citizenship exam, you just kind of fucking ignored the way that we do things here. I don't know what you were studying. Maybe you should go back and review it. But that's how we do things here. And gerrymandering is fucking real. So, no, you don't get representation. And that doesn't even touch the fact that we have so few representatives now. As our population has grown, we haven't increased the number of representatives that we have in America. There's 435 voting members in the House of Representatives, and that doesn't fucking touch the number of people that we have now in America. So many people are underrepresented. So, no, that doesn't work. It's never going to work. And by the way, when you go, well, we don't know. They arrested 72,000. That could just, you don't know. Val literally pointed out to you that we have 1,500 missing people. Missing people that we don't even know where they've gone just from the ICE raids and just who went to Alligator Alcatraz in Florida. How would you explain that? Because guess what we weren't doing before this Trump administration? We weren't sending people to fucking concentration camps in America, sir.
Or in other countries.
Or in other countries.
Well, to clarify one thing about it, I never said anything about preventing them from coming in. I said about making the process a lot less, well, as you called it, terrorist-like.
Oh,
it doesn't need to be.
Oh, really? Awesome. Then what can they do? Explain exactly what they can do.
Awesome.
Awesome. Explain what they can do. How is a local representative going to stop those things? Because I guarantee you that anyone in any of those cities and in any of those places that they had any power to do so, they would. They've done nothing but try to de-escalate the situations. Have you seen Tim Walz on television begging and pleading with the president and with federal authorities to please help tone down the situation? Begging and pleading with them? No, you haven't?
I'll give you an example. New Jersey has passed a law, well, I believe it has already been advanced, to ban masks on federal officers.
Awesome. What's the supremacy clause say?
It's not preventing them from doing their duty.
What does the supremacy clause say? What does the supremacy clause say? How are they going to enforce? Great, it's great that they passed that law. How are they going to enforce it, bud?
Well, the supremacy clause takes place in the court.
How are they going to? How is New Jersey going to enforce that law?
I have already answered.
No, you haven't. You have not. No. You haven't answered the question. How is New Jersey? Okay. I'm an ICE officer. I walk in and I've got a mask on. What happens to me?
I call the police.
And?
Yeah.
And then what? They arrest ICE officers? Can they arrest ICE officers?
Yeah.
They
If they
can?
break the law.
You're going to tell me that local police can arrest ICE officers? Holy fucking shit, dude. Do you even live here? You think that the local fucking Joe police officer can arrest federal agents? Holy fucking shit, dude. I strongly suggest that you go back and study your citizenship exam.
All right. Well,
you literally don't know what you're
I appreciate
talking
the
about.
shout.
Yeah, I know. Maybe you should go learn some fucking
Uh-huh.
shit before you start coming up here and just saying random fucking shit. And by the way, ICE is a domestic terrorist organization by the literal definition of it, and you, sir, are trying to pull some bullshit. I don't know what it is that you think that you believe in, but you stand with a terrorist organization and you're making excuses for them, and you're bullshit. You're bullshit excuse. Well, just vote. That doesn't work because of our system, and if you knew anything about our system, you would understand that. Just FYI.
All right.
Yep, I'd go away too.
Anyway, guys, tap the screen, share the live, do all the good things. Links in bios, all of that good stuff. To the person in the comments who's saying it's disrespectful to talk about concentration camps, because concentration camps were invented by the British during the Boer War. They have a literal definition. The camps that you are talking about are unaliving camps. Not the same thing.
By the way, thank you to our friend Victoria Jane. Thanks in the chat over on Nima's Discord. In Philadelphia, she said it's convenient he keeps bringing up Philadelphia. In Philadelphia, ICE is still active, but President Trump has not sent troops as he has to other major cities. Philly calls itself a, quote, welcoming city, and a 2016 directive orders authorities to not comply with ICE-issued detainer requests unless there's a judicial warrant. In Bucks County, sheriff's deputies are no longer allowed to act as immigration officers. However, it is not a sanctuary county, and its corrections department will share information with federal agencies, including ICE. Wow. So what you're saying is nothing's happened there because they didn't send troops. Huh. How about that? Look at us. Nothing happened here because no one was sent there. Cool story, bro. Cool story. Oh, hey, Victoria. How are you, friend? What's happening?
I'm good. I just wanted to come up and hopefully little fellas in the comments, because here's the great thing about elected officials that you don't know. Here in the state of Tennessee, there are laws literally on the books that they can arrest and charge with a felony local lawmakers trying to create sanctuary cities. There is also a law that if you unknowingly or knowingly, you heard that right, knowingly or unknowingly help a undocumented person, you can be charged with a crime. And last but certainly not least, we call that that middle one the Anne Frank rule, because the Anne Frank law, because that's exactly what it is. And then the last but certainly not least is the state legislator made it possible that schools could reject children with undocumented status, so they can't get an education, even if their parents are here and they're a citizen, they can also reject that. So, I mean, Tennessee's primed. And if you guys, I have a video up right now that literally talks about how ICE and Tennessee want to work together. And I can promise you whatever they implement here, it's because they think they can get away with it because we're a southern state that's been gerrymandered.
Did you say if the child is a citizen or is undocumented? Which was it, Victoria?
I think it was, I want to say it's if the parents are undocumented. I might be misquoting it.
No, it's just
it's been a minute since I've.
No, it's okay. I was just curious because I'm going to look into that when we're offline because I feel like that would go against that would go against Plyer versus Doe in 82 because that was specifically about the child of undocumented parents receiving educational services in the state of Texas, and they ruled that Texas had to accommodate them. I was just curious. I'm sure it probably is cleverly and well written way to get around whatever that is to make sure that they can fuck over kids because fuck those kids, right? Fuck them.
Yeah, because like what dude was saying, he was talking about like voting and whatnot. Tennessee's 48th in voter turnout, and we have some of the worst voter suppression in the country. And this is also like if you walk into any election commission, they'll be like #1 in voter integrity. But we're 48 in voter turnout. That is because there are things across the state of Tennessee that are put in place so that you can't vote, including you have to get your pew-pew license back before you can get your voting rights back. And we've tried to challenge that multiple times, and it is incredibly hard to challenge that in the state of Tennessee. Who do you think that disproportionately affects?
I'm sure rich white people. Did I get it right?
I was going to say, I was going to say, I bet it's cishet white men.
Mm-hmm. Definitely the most victimized people in the world.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They're literally alone.
Rich
guys.
Christian white men is what I meant to say.
Yeah, and Tennessee definitely did that. There were flyers sent out by, we're not sure who they were sent out by, but there were flyers sent out in the state of Tennessee with the wrong date for the special election this past year. So, I mean, Tennessee is on some fuck shit, and there's no better way to put it, because like the Tennessee Republican Party has threatened independent voters who cross party lines to vote for like in Democratic primaries and whatnot, literally saying that they will press charges if you cross party lines.
Yay.
Like Tennessee, yay guys,
yay Tennessee. Hey guys, if you're not following our friend Victoria, you should be. Please follow and support our friend Victoria. I really hope you do. Thank you for popping up, friend. Appreciate you. Sorry that sorry I didn't see you there and that guy ran away, but we'll catch you soon.
Totally fine.
W's for our friend
All right,
Victoria.
bye, Kathy.
Bye, friend.
Thank you. Bye, Matt. Bye.
Oh, damn it! I always hit it a little early. I'm sorry, Victoria. I cut it off early. I didn't let you say proper goodbye to Erica. Sorry. My bad. I'm such a dick.
Bye, Victoria. We all know Matt's a fuckface.
Yeah, I thank you. Appreciate that. Guys, we're looking for Trump supporters. Just, if you voted for Donald Trump, hop on up. Providence, hi, did you vote for Donald Trump?
Hi, good afternoon. I actually did.
Okay. How old are you and what state did you vote in?
52. I'm in Rhode Island.
Oh, okay. Hello, neighbor. Do you want to discuss one of the subjects
Right.
above or something else that Donald Trump's doing right now?
I'd like to take a step back, maybe look at the totality of things, and I would like to start by saying that we have too much division, and it's hard for me to believe that true patriots of the country really want different things. I believe we all want the same. Now, let me start off by saying, although I did vote for Trump, we have to not discount the promises that he made on the campaign trail. Now, if those promises were kept, it would have been a great presidency. We were supposed to be seeing the expulsion of criminal, undocumented illegals.
That's not what he said on the
We have
campaign
to-
trail. Mass deportation is what
told
he...
you-
Nope, what he said was mass deportation. You've already completely misquoted what he said. He wanted mass deportation. They were talking about literally doing mass deportation, sir. This is what he said.
Well, wait
this
a
is
minute.
what they planned.
And a direct quote was they're emptying their mental institutions.
Yeah, that's one
and
time. Yeah, one time you
asylums
said that
and
one time.
criminal-
Yeah, that's one time. And then he
So-
started talking about mass deportations. What does the word mass mean, sir?
Right, but
What
I
does the word
believe
mass
that
mean,
it
sir?
was
What does the word mass mean, sir?
in great number.
Cool. So does that mean just criminals or does it mean like basically everybody?
I had taken it to
Does it
mean that I'm answering you, that the majority of the illegals that were criminals were a massive number, and he was going to massively deport
That's
all
a
the
really
criminals.
funny
That's
way
how I
to.
took
That's a
it.
really funny way to use the word mass.
Obviously,
That's
I was wrong.
obviously not what he meant. And he kept saying mass deportations.
Obviously.
And he said
Agreed.
he said we're going to deport millions of people.
Which I thought were criminals.
You
the way
thought that
he
they
made
were
it sound
awesome.
They emptied their prisons. They emptied their mental institutions. I thought it was an absolutely huge number. He was talking about, inflated numbers, 10 million, 15 million came in.
Sorry,
So
I need
therefore,
to.
the criminals could have been
I
millions.
need to interrupt. That is the
Sure.
worst Donald Trump impression that I have ever heard, and I've heard 9-year-olds do that. I need you to stop.
I wasn't trying to do an impression.
Oh boy.
That's probably why it was so bad, because it was unintentional. Let me take a step back from this. I believe that there is too much division. I think that
Who's been causing the division in the United
that
States of America?
did-
Who causes the division in the
believe
United
that-
States of America? Who said that they hate the
Good
people on the other?
question.
Who said that they hate the people on the other side of the aisle? That they won't stop hating
Beautiful.
their opponents? Who said
That's
that?
exactly where I'm going.
Who
the
said that?
Republican Party did.
Fantastic.
The Republican Party did.
Great. So you and I.
So if I could
we
just
agree.
speak for one moment.
Sure.
We do agree. We agree on more than you think. I believe that it's time that all of us that voted for Trump need to put our big boy pants on and admit that we were deceived. We made a mistake. He absolutely deceived us. He absolutely made all these claims on the campaign trail that he's going to be a president of peace. He's going to make peace in Gaza, peace in Ukraine. There'll be no wars. And what's he doing? His peace through strength, the BS. He's kidnapping presidents. He went to Congress for $5 billion with the B, more of our misappropriated tax-paying dollars to occupy Venezuela, to steal the natural resources and
I have a
deposit it in
question.
American banks.
Sorry. As much as I'm enjoying your monologue, I do have
Sure.
a question.
Sure.
How could I, and not just me, but a whole ton of other people who I am acquainted with or friends with on this app, have been talking about since, I don't know, the beginning of 2024, listening to Trump's rhetoric and saying, yeah, he's saying that, but you know that that's not what he's going to do, because he lied 30,000 times in his first presidency. How can
Very valid point.
how can we have known and have pointed out that he's a fucking liar, but for some reason you, Providence, and other people like you got sucked in by it? How is that?
Well, wait a
thing?
minute. That's an assumption on your part, and allow me to explain it, because that's a very valid point, and I think it does need to be explained. From my point of view, since you directed this at me, what I was looking at is the two parties. First of all, the Democratic Party. What did we know for a fact they were going to do because they were doing it? The biggest problem I had was the subversion of our foreign policy through large lobbies, especially AIPAC, and the fact that we were being forced to fund a genocide.
You can stop, Providence, because you're still funding it. That Donald Trump.
I'm answering you. You asked me to explain my position.
Stop.
Why don't you stop and allow me to speak?
Because I'm currently in charge and I'll do what the fuck I like. Okay, that's your answer. Donald Trump at no point, I could understand this as a point of view if Donald Trump at any point during on the campaign trail had said, if I become president, we will stop funding Israel. But he didn't. And in fact, let's think back to Donald Trump's first presidency. In his first 4 years, he was the strongest supporter of Israel. In fact, Donald Trump was the person who moved the US embassy from... Buzz, stop it. Buzz, stop. Sorry, that's my dog. he moved the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv, the capital of Israel, to Jerusalem, which actually is one of the things that sparked all this shit off in the first place. So the idea that you couldn't possibly have brought yourself to vote for the Democrats because they were funding Israel, but you voted for Donald Trump, who prior to the election, by the way, said that he was going to make Gaza a parking lot. And you thought the guy that said he was going to make it a parking lot was going to stop funding the Israelis is wild. And also from RJ, please leave the state of Rhode Island. You are not welcome. How dare you be a MAGA in Rhode Island? That's from RJ.
Also, Providence, I don't know if you've seen the flag next to my username up there, but that's where I'm from. That's where my family is from. And I still voted for Kamala. Awesome. And I still voted for Kamala Harris. I agree with you that the Democratic Party is not perfect on that issue, and I think that there's a lot of work to be done, and we fine, great. But if you're going to compare,
right, but the most
if you're going to compare, okay, what's that?
The most important, and I'm not saying I was right. That's what everybody's not hearing. I'm saying it was a mistake. But what I saw was before Trump was elected, he made social media posts on X. I think it was a repost of like Sachs or someone calling Netanyahu a deep, dark son of a bitch.
He was literally meeting with Netanyahu. You must have had your head in a fucking hole. He met with Netanyahu multiple times. It was literally known. His son-in-law was making deals with him, right. Kushner.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Right.
How could you not know that?
This is why I was wrong. You're right. You're right. I'm trying to tell you the different things I put together that led me down the wrong path. The deep dark son of a bitch was one. Number two, he said he was going to release the Epstein files, which we know goes back to Mossad. The JFK files, which probably go back to the same damn thing. So I thought what he was doing was trying to keep the other side there in the Middle East happy to get into power, and then he was going to make a move. That's what I thought. What on
earth would make you think that, Providence, after his first presidency?
Like I said, the deep dark son of a bitch repost the fact that he was going to release files that would have been a bombshell if he had released them from Epstein to JFK, showing that our greatest ally is our greatest enemy. So it seemed like that there was a plan being cooked up. He also, when there were chants of Genocide Joe during his rallies that I saw on TV, you know, he was right with the crowd saying that won't happen with me. I'm going to put an end to the war. So absolutely, it was no good choice. The Democrats are actively engaging in it. Trump was promising to stop it.
That's BS. Matt, have you ever heard anyone posit the theory that the Mossad or Israel was responsible for the unaliving of JFK? I have never heard that as a theory.
Well, I guess you've been living under a rock or in a hole, as you said to me.
No, actually, no, Providence. I have heard it.
No.
I'm going to talk now.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Yep.
It's almost like this is my thing. Cool. Thanks. I've heard that before. And the only reason I've heard it is because I had a conspiracy theorist on TikTok like 6 months ago tell me that was a thing. I am 42. I'm in the middle of a fucking sentence, dude. I am 42 years old. I have read multiple books on the Kennedy assassination, including Death of a President, which is considered to be the definitive one. And I've never heard that theory before. It is a fringe theory. Yes, it is a theory that some people know about, but it is a fucking fringe theory. So when you say to somebody, hey, oh, you didn't know about that, as if it was some kind of gotcha, when the former president of the United States was publicly taking meetings with Benjamin Netanyahu on television, as if that's the same as a fringe fucking conspiracy theory from 60 years ago. Bud.
Do you want to hear the justification for it?
No.
Of course not. Of course not.
Matt,
You just
Matt,
want
the
to
wild
shoot it
thing-
down.
the
See, this
wild
isn't an
thing-
open discussion.
I'm sorry.
This is just
Hold on.
being bullied. Allow me to at least respond.
Erica,
I'm
I'm
not
sorry. No,
saying I
hey,
was
Providence.
right.
Providence.
Yes, Matthew.
Erica, I'm sorry. It's so weird. I thought that it was 2026 and not 1966. No offense to the great senator and former president, John F. Kennedy, from the great state of Massachusetts. Okay? No offense to him. I don't fucking care anymore. I do not fucking give two flying fucks. Okay? Who did it at this point in time? I just don't. Okay? If it was them, great. Add it to the list of terrible shit that they've done and cool. Awesome. It doesn't change my opinion of them in the least. Because I don't like their government and what they're doing. Cool. Glad we got that out of the way.
Well, I find it difficult to believe that you've gone to the parts of the internet that are positing this theory, but you didn't hear Donald Trump say he wanted to turn Gaza into a parking lot and he wanted to level it. Like, it seems very much to me, Providence, like you were hanging out in the wrong places. And by wrong, I mean very wrong.
You don't even care to hear why I had that opinion.
Correct.
You
Yes.
don't care.
This is
So,
not
okay.
a Providence. This isn't a place to discuss JFK assassination theories.
That's fine.
Cool. Awesome.
That's
I'm so
fine.
glad.
That no,
It's not
that
what we're
wasn't the point. The point was, why did I make a mistake by voting for Trump? That was the question.
No,
and that's what I've been trying to answer, and I still haven't been able to answer the one question I
Well,
was asked, which was the first question.
It's because I don't know if you've ever heard of brevity.
I don't know
but
if you've
I'm-
ever heard of making a mistake, which is what I've been saying, and you've been doing nothing but bashing me for it by saying I was wrong. I'm the one telling you I was wrong. Maybe
right,
you're not
but
listening.
Providence, maybe
I made a mistake. These were the stupid reasons why I made a mistake.
Providence, maybe if you spent your time reading policy, watching the rallies that the two people who had the possibility of becoming the president were doing, and reading articles from legitimate news sources, rather than spending your time
Legitimate news sources? Could you tell me who that is?
I'm sorry. Anyway, or rather than in a subreddit about the assassination of JFK, maybe you wouldn't have voted for Donald Trump. But it seems to me that you are so taken with weird conspiracy theories that you didn't actually listen to what was going on. You just apparently read a couple of tweets and then got sidetracked by your anti-Semitism.
Thank you to Tammy on the Blue app. Thank you to Tammy for the 10 on the Blue app. It says, for your headache fund today has been a doozy. Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate that. Anyone else who would like to contribute to my headache fund or to Erica's headache fund, you can find links in our bios for the headache fund. Providence, it's fine. I'm glad that you made a mistake and you want to say that you made a mistake and not vote for Trump. But if you're going to say things and not want to be challenged on them and not want pushback when you say things like, I don't, what do you want from us? We're going to push back.
I didn't say I didn't want pushback. I said that I wanted to at least be able to explain my point based on your pushback, which I haven't been able to do.
Okay, all right.
Your female guest has said multiple times that she would not allow me to respond. So it's
we've
just
said,
like a monologue.
No,
There's
Providence.
no
What
longer a
we've said is
conversation.
what we've said is we don't want to discuss that bit of JFK thing because it doesn't matter
That's
and it's
fine.
not germane. Okay, great.
That's
so
fine.
what is it that you'd like to talk to us about then? What point is it that you feel like you haven't been able to get across?
I think the main point is that a lot of people that supported Trump made a serious mistake, and I think people need to admit it, and I think everybody needs to forgive the fact that people made a mistake. ICE is obviously a terrorist group. You see all their recruiting stuff from the KKK down to the white supremacist stuff. Look at the flyers they've passed out with their anthems on it and everything else. Look at the way that they're acting. This has gone sideways. This has gone sideways fast, and we are screwed. And the least thing in the world we need is division among each other. Who benefits from our division?
Can I just ask a quick
Not
question on an unrelated subject? Providence, how do I know to call you Providence?
Do you know the definition of the word?
No, sorry, how do I know? Yeah, but how, of all the words in the English language, how do I know that that's the one that I should call you?
Well, you wouldn't unless you asked.
Well, nobody asked you what we should call you, and yet we all know. So how do we know?
Because that's the name I put on the account, just like I know what
So
to call
please
you.
don't refer to me as the female. My name is also on the fucking screen. Now
Well,
it's becoming clear.
Miss, I am.
Now it's becoming clear why you voted for Trump. Apparently, it's because you can't read. My name is also on the screen.
I recently went completely blind in my right eye and legally blind in my left eye. I cannot see it. I apologize. I didn't call you a bad term. I cannot
You know
physically
what you could
see
have
it.
done? You could have said, "What's your name?" And Matt called me Erica several times.
Okay. I apologize if I offended you, Erica. That was not my intent. My intent was to bring unity for the people that have made a mistake in electing or voting for Trump.
All right, Providence, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to agree with everything that you said except for one thing. And the one thing that I'm not going to agree with, you're not going to like. But here it is. And unfortunately for you, I do believe that the rest of the 900 folks that are here are probably going to agree with this. And that is, this is not the time to turn around and forgive folks who ignored who Donald Trump was and what he said he was going to do, sir. I know that you want it because you've realized, and you know what, I'm glad and I respect the fact that you've realized it, and I respect the fact that you're willing to say it. I do. I have respect for that. I want you to know that. But I am not going to hold your hand and say everything's going to be fine. Let's go have a hoodsie together, okay?
Agreed.
I'm not
asking
so
for that.
okay. So that's not what we're doing here. This is not that. So no, we're not gonna forgive everybody, right? That's not a thing. If people who
Agreed.
voted, okay, so that part that
I
you
said less division and hate. I
Okay.
didn't say forgiveness.
But you
I didn't
say
say go get a coffee and kumbaya.
Except you did say, when just so you know, when you were talking, you said we need to forgive. That you said that you guys should forgive. Those words did come out of your mouth, because I've been sitting here waiting to say no, we're not going to. Just so you
okay.
know, those words that
Okay,
okay.
if they did, I
right.
misspoke.
And-
I meant that we need to stop hating each other. We need to be together as Americans and go towards the same goal, restoring our Constitution, getting control of this madman.
Okay, great.
I mean, this is where we are. We can't have division.
Okay.
Maybe forgive was the wrong word.
Okay, that's fine. Also, thank you to Joey on the blue hat says, abso-fucking-lutely not going to give absolution here. Rotten hell. Okay, well, that's... James says, is this POS actually playing the victim, asking for forgiveness when his
Absolutely
vote
not.
actually causing pain to so many people? Thank you, James, on the blue app. So that's what I mean, is that so asking for...
Right.
Okay, great. So we agree
Right, right.
that's not... Okay, Providence, I respect the fact that you've recognized that this was a mistake. So now what we do is we tell people that this was wrong, and we move forward, and we try to get the right people in place, and we try to we try to correct the wrongs that need to be righted. That's what we do.
That's what I was
Okay,
trying
great.
to say.
All right,
That's
great.
exactly what I was
Okay.
trying to say.
I respect. I
And there's
respect.
got to be a way I can help. There's got to be a way that other people that made a mistake can help. We've got to right the ship that we sent careening in the wrong direction. I don't need forgiveness. I need for us to come together and right the ship, not fight amongst each other. Our fight isn't with each other. Our fight is what he's doing in the presidency, which is desecration of it.
Well, you're lucky in that there's a whole ton of things that you can do. You can get out on the street, you can protest, you can get in contact with Republican lawmakers, especially because as someone who voted Republican, you can say, I voted for you guys. This was my understanding of what was going to happen. This is not what has happened, and you will never get my vote again unless you make a change. You are, forgive me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that people who are elected to represent their constituents, no matter what their party, they are elected to represent all of their constituents, not just the ones who agree with them.
Agreed.
And so reminding them of that consistently and as often as you can is really important. And as someone who voted Republican, your voice is potentially more important to those people than it would be if you were a person who voted Democrat.
Good point, and I hadn't done that. Thank you, Erica.
The other thing, Providence, is people like you and I are lucky. Okay? You and I are lucky because of where we live. Our lives are far less affected by a vote like that. It's a lot easier to do that and then to just kind of go about our day. So because I'm in Massachusetts, I'm just outside of Boston here, so I'm just an hour away from you if you're in Providence. Okay, so
right,
we're in a different world than a lot of these folks who are living in a purple state or somewhere in the Midwest or in a deep red state in the South. Their lives are vastly different than ours. And women are having access issues to health care, and if you're a person of color, their lives look very different, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying, is that it's a wildly different experience. That's why it comes from a place of privilege to be able to sit there and be like, oh, I'll vote, So keep doing those things. Call representatives in other states and get out and protest. And the main thing would be, even if there are people in your state that are considering voting this way, talk to them. Tell them. Just be straight up with them, even in person, because I think that sometimes people might be afraid to do that in person, but we need to not be afraid. I have no problem telling someone right to their face and being like, these are my political views, and if you support that, I think that's wrong. And so I strongly encourage it, okay? Listen,
honestly, everybody I know that voted for that asshat, not one of them are happy with where he is. So it baffles me when I see MAGA people like supporting him and cheering on ICE. Like I can't wrap my head around it. I just can't.
But what you have to do when you have those conversations, because there will be those people that you talk to who will say, yeah, but I can't bring myself to vote for the Democrats. Even if in the midterms, even if you have to hold your nose,
right,
the only way that there is a possibility of stopping this within the next 2 years is to vote Democrat. That is the only way that
Agreed.
this is going to stop. So this is one of those, even if you don't agree with the Democrats, even if the Democrats are you know, 2 steps behind Trump in their shittiness, which I don't believe they are. I think they're many steps behind Trump in their shittiness. But even if you thought they were, this is about avoiding what it very much looks like is going to happen in the United States right now.
Right.
Watching it, I can't imagine what it's like experiencing it from the inside, especially in one of these states that have National Guard deployed to them, especially in one of these states that have a ton of ICE officers in there right now. Watching it from another country is scary enough, but imagine if you were. I can't imagine, and you know, my heart goes out to all of those people who are scared to leave their homes. You know, the vast majority of whom have no legitimate reason to be scared to leave their homes. They shouldn't be scared to leave their homes.
Right. I have
In
friends that were directly affected. There were some immigrants, migrants, whichever they were, that had, you know, a landscaping company for 20 years and managing a property down in Florida. And ICE came, rounded them all up, and pounded all the vehicles. Like, these are tax-paying citizens that benefited the United States for decades. They have families. They see doctors here. They contribute to our economy. They're upstanding citizens. They have zero criminal record. They're not mental institution criminals. It's none of that. And,
You know,
it's
I've just
ridiculous.
thought of something else that you would probably be really good at doing, Providence.
Please.
I really think it would be worth you speaking to your local Democratic Party and seeing if you can phone bank. Because
See
I
if I can
think
what? I'm sorry?
but phone bank. So in the run up to elections, you can volunteer to make phone calls on behalf of the Democrats
Oh.
to encourage people to vote for them in the next election.
It's really simple.
As somebody who,
Okay.
as somebody who voted for Trump previously, if you encountered somebody on the phone and were able to have a conversation with them about why you've changed your mind, I think you might be really effective in convincing other people that that voting Democrat, even if just for this election,
Right.
might be the right thing to do.
Especially
Right. He has too much power and he's abusing every inch of it.
especially, friend, if and you know, sorry about your limited vision, but especially with your limited vision, that might not be a bad
Thanks.
thing, because you know you can do it right from your phone. They have like it's like a special app, and it doesn't connect your phone. It'll mask your phone number, and it connects you kind of like via a third party, and you can just, it'll just call out, and you can and you can hopefully talk to people. And it's not talking to people, it won't be talking to people most likely in Providence. A lot of the time they'll be
Right.
trying to get you to talk with people who might be in battleground states or battleground areas, or where that you really need it. So like that Erica brings up a really good point, like that if you really wanted to do something, because it sounds, and again, I do respect this. It sounds like you are passionate about wanting something to change. And so if you're passionate about wanting something to change in that way, you might actually be able to convince some other people, because that sort of passion sometimes resonates, you know?
This is exactly why I came on. This was exactly my hope. This was exactly what I wanted communicated. I don't want blind forgiveness. I want something to do. I want to help to fix it. And I
Well,
didn't know about these things like Erica
Yeah.
was saying. I
I
didn't know
think
about it.
if you want me to, Providence, I'm going to follow you right now.
Okay.
I have a friend called Martina, who a lot of guys on here will be aware of. Martina is heavily involved in like protest organizing and all of that stuff, but I'm absolutely sure that she would be able to connect you with the right people to kind of volunteer to do things within your community. And I always say to people, like, not everybody can do everything, right? Not everybody is capable of going out onto the street and protesting. Not everybody is capable of everything.
Right, but we can all
But
do something.
yeah, exactly. But everyone can do something.
Agreed.
And the other thing, there's an app that you might be interested in called the 5 Calls app.
Okay.
The 5 Calls app will help to connect you to elected members of Congress and make your feelings known to them. I think it's available in all the app stores and everything, and it's called the 5 Calls app.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, do you have anything else, Providence? Anything else you want to talk about, or?
I just want to say that whoever voted for Trump, you have to realize that where our patriotism lies is in the Constitution. It's in the country. It's not in a person. And Trump did not do what I believe a lot of us thought he would do, what he promised to do. Regardless, what he's doing now is not good for the country. It's not good for any of us. It doesn't matter what side we're on. So I just encourage everybody to do something. Do something to try to right the ship, because none of us want it going in this direction. And thank you for your time and having me on.
All right.
Providence, I just want to, I was definitely a little bit harsh with you when you first came up. Part of it is because I'm British, part of it is because it's the end of my working week, and part of it is because we sit up here and talk to ignoramuses for hours on end.
Right.
So I just want to say, you know, I'm sorry if I came off as overly harsh. I would like to say that wasn't my intention, but it probably was at the time. So I'm not going to try and pretend.
Right.
And
Very understandable.
And I have one really important question before you go. It's really important.
Sure.
This is a make or break. What's your Dunks order?
Large coffee, extra sugar and cream.
Extra. Oh man. See, I'm a medium hot 1-in-1. Sometimes with a turbo shot. Okay. All right. I mean, I guess. Okay. I'll. Okay. All right. Fine. I accept. Anyways, it's not ridiculous. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't dealing with an absolute insane person, so that's fine. All right. Okay.
That's a good litmus test.
It's a good. For us up here, it really is. All right, Providence. Thank you for coming up. I appreciate you. And it takes a lot. It takes a lot to take in new information, to make a change, and to admit it. So for that, I really do respect you. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
All right. I hope you have a good rest of your day, friend. W's for Province. You know what? In the chat, we need more people. We need more people like that. And it doesn't mean that we have to forgive and forget, but it's good if people want to work with us and earn that trust back as our fellow Americans. We should let them. That is important. Thank you again, by the way, to Joey. Sorry, Joey. I just saw this on the Blue app. Joey said, "Stop calling it made a mistake. People are unaliving." Yeah, we need to acknowledge it for what it is. And so, thank you, Joey. I appreciate that as well. But that was a good conversation.
I just want to say I have no clue what happened at the end of that. All I heard was 1-in-1. Like,
it's not you don't need to, don't worry about it. It's not that wasn't for you, Erica.
Okay.
That was not for
you.
That was not for you. Thank you, Ruben and Ola and Chuck. Thank you guys for the little gifts over on the tube. That was very nice of you. Thank you guys. And once again, guys, if you if you want to support Erica and I over here on the Tiki Talks, you can do so via the links in our bios or via the gifts on the screen. We appreciate your support there. If you're over on the YouTube side, you can support me with a gift or a super chat, or both of us. You can find links in the description there. Feel free. We appreciate that. Do we have any other Trump supporters who would like to come up? Let's see what we got here. Eric, hi. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
I did.
Okay. How old are you and what state did you vote in?
I am 61 in Pennsylvania.
Okay. Do you want to discuss one of the subjects above or something else that Donald Trump is doing?
ICE is a domestic terrorist group. Perfect.
Okay.
Define how they're a terrorist group.
What's the definition of terrorism?
They're using violence to influence or change public or opinion.
Well, specifically violence or intimidation against civilians to do so.
Correct.
Yep.
What opinion are they trying to change?
But it's not about changing an opinion. It's about achieving political aims. That's
we
the
may differ on the
definition.
opinion on that.
No,
That's fair.
no. I'm sorry. It's not about differing on the. That's the definition of the word. It's the pursuit of political aims. That's the literal definition of terrorism.
Okay, fair enough. I'll go with that.
Okay, that's what Oxford English Dictionary says. So, I mean, I think we should.
Okay,
Yeah.
so when Obama was doing this,
I'm
between
sorry.
2008
I'm not sure why you're
2012
talking about Barack Obama. This is 2026, and this is Donald Trump.
No, don't obfuscate. That's fair. That's not fair.
Oh, don't obfuscate.
Nobody was
okay, cool.
complaining.
Can you show me?
nobody was
Awesome.
complaining
Can
when
you
he was
show me?
doing it.
Can you show me pictures of raids where Black Hawk helicopters were coming in the dead of night with masked men and pulling American citizens out of their homes? Can you show me where people were getting killed in the street, where protesters were being unalived? Where 32
No, when you have the actual-
awesome. Can you show me the 1,500 people that went missing from a concentration camp under Barack Obama, or maybe the 32 of them that died in ICE custody, more than the entirety of the number of them that committed a schmurder in all of 2024? You know, the people that they're supposed to be protecting us against, they literally have killed more of them than committed murder the year before. So can you show me those statistics under Barack Obama, please?
Honestly, I don't have those in front of me. I'm not going to argue that point.
That's because it didn't happen. So that's why I say, why are you trying to compare this to Barack Obama?
Because 60 to 70% of the people that were deported were also non-criminal offenders. We're just here illegally.
Yeah, no one's
Now
saying
what
that you're
will
not
happen-
allowed. No one's saying that you're not allowed to deport those people. If people have a deportation order, you are allowed to deport them. That's not the problem.
That's due process.
That's not the problem.
So your complaint is that the much more scrutiny they're getting now, especially when they're in hostile situations in states that refuse to follow federal law.
It's not refusing
go
to
in
follow
there-
federal law. You don't have to cooperate with ICE. That's not a federal law.
It is a federal law.
Cool. Which one?
Federal law federal law covers all
Which
50
federal
states.
law is it that says that states have to cooperate with ICE? Show me.
All right, hold on. Let me look it up.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Immigration customs plays a major role in enforcing, but for individuals, employers, and even local governments, understanding what it means to cooperate with us isn't always simple. Do I have to answer ICE's questions? Whether you're a U.S. citizen, green card holder? Okay, they're not giving me.
I can just help you out with this. There is no federal law that says that states have to cooperate with ICE. I can just help you out there. I do this 5 days a week. There's no law.
So that's fair. So then, what would be the benefit to the city, state, or whatever to not assist?
Because these people are terrorizing their citizens.
They were going in with lawful orders to do what they are supposed to be doing. How are they terrorizing? Again, they're not going in and they're not going after citizens generally unless those citizens are like Miss Good,
Wrong.
who were obstructing ICE, which is a
awesome.
federal
How is she
offense.
obstructing ICE?
If you take a look at the video before the actual incident, up to 3 minutes before, she actually did have her car in front. There were eyewitness accounts that
How
point
many
out that
vehicles
she
passed her car?
successfully-
How many vehicles passed her car while she was obstructing? How many vehicles passed her car in that 3-minute time period?
In the prior 3
How many
minute time
vehicles?
period, none.
Wrong. 11. 11 vehicles passed
No,
her car.
After where she
Wrong.
was positioned
Wrong.
at the incident,
Wrong.
yes, they were.
Cool. Show me the video. Show me the video where
hold
she
on.
was blocking the street and no one could pass her car. Show me.
He was dancing and honking her horn at the time.
Also, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. 11 vehicles passed her in that full time period. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen every vehicle. I've seen every video from every angle. Also, what operation was she obstructing?
ICE vehicles trying to move forward. They were boxing them in.
1, she wasn't boxing them in because 11 vehicles were allowed to escape. 2, guess what? Their operations were done for the day. Do you know how we know that? Kristi Noem said it in her press conference that day. She said they were done for the day, but a vehicle had gotten stuck in the snow on that street, which means there was no operation that she could have been obstructing, sir. So
At the
again,
moment she was-
again, sir, again, I ask you, what operation was she obstructing?
She was obstructing prior to the incident when she was being...
Sir, prior to the
basically-
incident, there was still no operation going on because the day was done. And even if
Doesn't
she
matter, no.
okay, great. Let's go with your next premise as you keep moving the goalposts further and further. Let's say that she was. Is ICE allowed to take someone out of their vehicle in the roadway, a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Wrong.
No, I am right.
Nope, you're wrong.
ICE agents are just like U.S.
They would have to
Marshals,
be
just like
wrong.
every
No,
other-
they're not.
Now,
No,
you're
they're not,
interrupting
sir.
me.
No,
Is
they're
that
not.
fair?
I know. I am interrupting you because you're wrong, and I'm not going to let you spread misinformation on my platform. They could detain her if they were in the middle. If they were in the middle of arresting other people. If they were literally in the middle of arresting other people and she was blocking them from arresting other people, they could temporarily detain her. They could never arrest her. If that were the case, they could temporarily detain her. That would be the
Directly
only
from the-
situation, that would be the only situation in which they could temporarily detain her. There is no other situation in which an ICE agent has authority over a U.S. citizen. What does ICE stand
Directly
for?
from-
What does ICE stand for, sir?
Oh, that is Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
Fantastic. I would love for you now to show me the federal law that says that they are allowed to arrest a U.S. citizen in their vehicle because they're blocking a
Oh.
lane of traffic.
Richard and Jurassic immigration law. ICE agents have the same
No, I
authority
asked you
as
to
other
show me the law. What's the law number? What is it?
federal law enforcement officers like FBI
What is
or
the
US
law
Marshals when it
number,
comes to
sir?
enforcing
What is the
federal
law
criminal
number?
laws.
What is the law?
If a U.S. citizen
What is the law
commits a
number?
federal
You're not
crime,
quoting the law to me. I
such
want the law
as
number.
assaulting a federal agent.
Okay, I'm trying to make this super clear to you. What's the code for the law, sir? The code. What's the code? You're just saying things. What's the code for the law so that we can look it up together and read it? I'll invite you to unmute. I've invited you to unmute. And I can't invite you. There you go. What's the code for the law, sir?
I have to look it up.
Yeah, I know.
I was going off of people who lawfully understand the rules of ICE to defend their clients in terms of immigration law.
That's amazing.
Who else better to know it?
That I don't know. My partner's a federal defense attorney. I think she knows.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I know. And guess what? You're going to go look for this, and you're not going to find it because it doesn't exist. ICE
No, I
is
do
not
recall
allowed.
actually-
ICE is not allowed if they're not engaged in an active operation. ICE is not allowed to go up to a U.S. citizen in their vehicle and demand that they come out. That is not allowed. It's unconstitutional.
So in other words,
what's the Fourth Amendment
so
to the
what you're
Constitution? Sir, what's the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution?
Oh yeah, unlawful search and seizure.
Fantastic. What was their probable cause to get Renee Good out of that car? Since they were not engaged in an active operation, as Kristi Noem herself said so.
So by your reasoning...
No, I asked you a question. Sir.
on.
What was the active operation that they were engaged in? None. So what was their probable cause to pull her out of the car under the Fourth Amendment, sir?
Based on your reasoning, if they were in the act of doing their job, they saw her obstructing, or let's say she assaulted an officer.
Sir, you keep going back. Sir, you keep going back to something, and I've laid this out for you. Kristi Noem herself said that they weren't doing an operation. If ICE is not doing an operation, they are not allowed to go up to a U.S. citizen and drag them out of their vehicle under any circumstance because they don't have jurisdiction over U.S. citizens in that way. You're going to go look for the law that says that they do, and you're not going to find it because they don't. Not all federal agents have complete jurisdiction over U.S. citizens at all times. IRS agents can arrest certain people. Can an IRS agent pull up behind you and give you a traffic stop, sir?
No, of course not.
Exactly. So we've now established that different federal agents are allowed to do different things, right?
If agents are observing
Is there a reason,
felony,
sir? Is stopping your car in traffic a felony?
if you are obstructing...
Is stopping your car in
the-
traffic a
Yes.
felony? No, it's not. No, it's not.
If you're obstructing federal agents, you
awesome.
are.
Obstructing federal agents isn't possible when cars can go around you and you're not in the middle of an operation. I've already explained both of these things to you, and you just keep going, well, if she wasn't doing either of those things because Kristi Noem said they weren't in an operation. I don't know how else to tell you that. And if cars could go around her, which 11 cars did, we can see it on the fucking video, she wasn't boxing anyone in and she wasn't stopping them from going around. In fact, she waved them around her vehicle. So guess what?
Later.
Guess what? She wasn't doing either of those things that you fucking wish that she was that would actually make this justifiable in any way. But even if she was doing all of those fucking things, even if she was, and she was 100% fucking wrong in every other instance that you have just brought up, that officer would still be 100% wrong for shooting her. So you lose in every every single situation.
Incorrect. I agree that she can't be shot at for obstructing. No argument.
Cool. So you agree
Well, then
that
why she
ICE
was shot?
awesome. So you agree that ICE murdered a woman in cold blood. Thank you.
No. And
You
that's
just
very
agreed that she
disingenuous
shouldn't
to
you
say
just
so.
agreed that she shouldn't be shot.
She shouldn't be shot for obstructing a vehicle.
Fantastic. That's what she was
Wasn't
shot
what-
for.
No, she was shot for the vehicle in front of an ICE agent moving towards him.
The vehicle wasn't-
He had feared for his life.
Oh, really? And just so we're clear, in ICE training, are they supposed to move in front of a vehicle and put their own lives in danger?
Oh, God damn this.
Oh, God. Oh, I'm sorry.
Pardon my language.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did the Supreme Court rule in 1985 in Garner v. Tennessee that if an officer puts themselves in danger and then fires
Correct.
a... Oh, right. So correct. So the Supreme Court for the last 40 years has said that's not a viable defense, is it?
Correct.
Cool, so we both know that what you just said is completely fucking wrong, and so she was murdered in cold blood.
You're wrong.
It's officer-induced
She reversed
jeopardy.
her vehicle.
It's
She
officer-induced
reversed her
jeopardy.
vehicle.
It's
Her
officer-induced
tires
jeopardy.
turned to the left.
It's called
The
officer-induced
officer was
jeopardy.
to the right of the
Sir, he's not supposed to be in front of the vehicle. Period. The end. He also had reasonable means of escape by simply taking one step to the right. Also, he didn't actually get hit by the fucking car. We have video now that proves that he didn't even really get hit by the car. He also walked off of his own accord. The fact that he didn't get hit by the car proves that he had a reasonable out. You are literally trying to defend something that has been proven over and over by the Supreme Court for the last 40 years to be indefensible. You are trying to defend something that is indefensible, sir. But keep trying. Keep trying. Maybe you're a better constitutional lawyer than everyone else who's gone to the Supreme Court in the last 40 years. There's been about a dozen different cases since Garner in 1985, and every single one has reaffirmed this precedent that says you're wrong and I'm right.
Incorrect.
Cool. Show me a case that says that I'm wrong. I want one Supreme Court case that says that putting yourself in jeopardy in front of a vehicle allows you to shoot the person inside. Show me one case.
Her reversing
No, I asked you a
car.
question. No, shut the fuck up. I asked you one question. Show me one Supreme Court case that would say him putting himself in front of the vehicle is okay. Show me one. One. You have brought zero evidence to this discussion, sir. Show me one. I can't invite you to unmute again. Do you not know where the mute button is?
Matt.
Yeah.
Can you do me a favor? Can you bring up the video from his point of view, the one that he was taking? Because I don't know if ICE agents are trained to hold a phone with one hand and a gun with the other. But can you bring up the video to the point just before she pulls away? So the point at which he's standing in front of the vehicle.
Yeah, please do.
Because I've watched this multiple times, and his own camera footage shows her turning her car wheel all the way to the right.
Yep.
His own footage shows that. So when you say she reversed and she turned the car wheel to the left, that is what I would. Oh, what's that?
Sorry, that was.
Is that your audio?
It was the audio started. Sorry about that.
That's happened. That happens with me when I have my audiobook brought up. It sometimes starts in the middle. But if he was looking at her rather than holding his phone, and then he would maybe have noticed, and maybe he did notice, that she had turned her car wheel all the way in the opposite direction, like she was going to pull away and drive down the road, missing him altogether.
Oh, I understand where you're coming from, Erica. You don't have to show that. I know what you're saying. But if you look at it from the view behind the vehicle that everybody saw, the very first video that was released, as she began to move forward and the tires began to spin, the tire was slightly left of center.
It doesn't matter.
That's when he drew
What
his
you just
weapon.
said doesn't matter. I've literally explained to you it doesn't matter.
I'm going off what Erica is discussing.
I know what you're discussing, and it doesn't matter. It still doesn't matter.
Well, the fact is, he shouldn't have walked in front of that car in the first place.
Why?
I don't know why you're making that noise.
Because, again,
every single. I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm speaking.
I apologize.
Every single and I've talked to like a number of law enforcement officers from different branches, and in fact it's in all of their regulations and their training manuals that officers shouldn't walk in front of vehicles ever, and if they do, they have put themselves in a situation. It's called officer induced jeopardy.
Correct.
They have put themselves in a situation where they could be harmed, and therefore if they do that, and there is an option for them which is not using lethal force. In fact, in lots of the manuals, I think in both the DOJ manual and the ICE manual, the Department of, I can't remember what it's called, it's gone out of my head.
The CBP manual is what they use. I have it right here.
Yeah, the DHS manual for sure. Both of them say that you cannot use a firearm to stop a moving vehicle unless the person in the vehicle is threatening them by means other than the vehicle.
That's the second rule. There's a third rule that says if they are in fear for their life.
Except for
and
the
if they
fact that
are
now
perceived-
you're misquoting it now. Now you're misquoting it.
I know, you're right. I don't have it in front of me. I don't have the best memory.
It's
I'm not gonna
okay
argue that.
because you're leaving out one super important part. Right? What's the super important part? Let's
Honestly,
read
I
it.
don't have it in front of
It's
me.
okay.
My
Let's read
memory
it
is
together.
horrible.
The vehicle is operated in a manner that threatens to cause death or serious physical injury to the officer or others. Right?
Correct.
That's
Correct.
and no other objectively reasonable means of defense appear to exist, which includes moving out of the path of the vehicle. It literally states if you
I
can
agree.
move, then you're not justified. Also, DHS policy under the CBP manual under use of force, because they don't have their own, it's section 4500.002A. Use of safe tactics under general guidelines. Number 2, except where otherwise required by inspections or operations, authorized officers' agents should avoid standing directly in front of or behind a subject vehicle. Officers' agents
We're on
should
the same
not
page.
place themselves in the path of a moving vehicle or use their body to block a vehicle's path. 3, authorized officers' agents should avoid intentionally and unreasonably placing themselves in positions in which they have no alternative to using deadly force. So literally, every single piece of policy says what he did was 100% wrong and not justified. Aside from the fact that the Supreme Court also says that we're 100% right.
Incorrect.
Cool, then show us something that proves us wrong.
The video showing her reversing her vehicle with the wheels turned to the left. He was originally to the right of her vehicle. As she backed up and put her car in drive, she placed him in front of her vehicle by doing so.
No, sir. That's false. He walked in front of the vehicle.
Look at the video.
He walked in
Watch
front of the
the video
vehicle.
right now.
He walked in front of the vehicle herself, sir.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Watch
God.
the video.
Seriously, we can watch the video, Eric, and you are so wrong. Also, can you I know this is a minor thing, but your voice just went so high that all of the neighborhood dogs have now congregated outside my house.
My apologies.
I would really appreciate it for the sake of my safety leaving the house so that I don't get attacked by dogs, but also for the people who are wearing headphones, for you
My
to
bad.
not squeal in that manner again. Thank you.
My bad.
I'm keeping
My voice does carry.
I'm keeping the sound off. So if you're on the tube and you're like, "There's no sound," I'm purposefully keeping the sound off on this point. All right. So number 1, here's when he walks in front of the vehicle, ignoring policy for the first time, when she's not doing anything. So this is mistake number 1, where he obviously ignores department policy by walking directly in front of her vehicle. Not supposed to do this. We just read it for you. Right, Eric?
You're correct.
Okay, cool. So just did exactly the wrong thing that you said he didn't do.
I agree.
Okay, cool. So we agree that he's
at
already,
that point-
we agree that, hold on, time out. We agree that he has already broken department policy by walking in front of her vehicle in an unsafe manner, correct?
I would agree.
Cool. Awesome. So he's already in the wrong. Now guess what he does? He
At
goes
that point,
around,
yes.
he goes around and does it again by walking behind the vehicle, which he's also not supposed to do. Does that. Not supposed to do it.
Agreed.
Cool. Now, check this out.
There you go. In front of the vehicle as she backed it up.
He was already walking.
No,
he was in
he
the
was
process
off to the
of
right
walking.
side,
No, he was
but
already
still
walking.
on the right side of the vehicle.
He was already walking. You can see him already in the
placed him in
All right,
front
we'll
of
walk.
the
All right,
vehicle.
we'll watch the other video. That's fine. We'll watch the other video. How is he not already walking? He was moving to the left, sir.
Understood, but she did.
No,
put him
no, no,
in
no,
front of the
no,
vehicle.
no, no. He was already walking in that direction. That means he would have been in front of the vehicle no matter what. He put himself again in front of the vehicle. He was walking to the left. We also have the other side of
Potentially.
the vehicle.
Potentially.
No, not potentially. It's
her
literally,
reversing the vehicle.
Sir. Be for fucking real.
Yeah.
He was walking in
I
front
am.
of the vehicle. Again, we can clearly see it right there because from a standpoint of science and physics, it's impossible for his body to have been moving to the left if it was just the vehicle that was moving. He was walking in front of the vehicle.
I agree. but
Cool. So
she
awesome. So you
reversed
agree
the vehicle.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
He reversed
It
the
doesn't
vehicle,
matter.
put him
It
plainly
doesn't
in
matter.
front.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't know how many times I have to explain this to you. The law says it doesn't matter. He put himself in front of the vehicle. It doesn't matter what she was doing after that point. He walked in front of the vehicle. He put himself in harm's way. And the law says 6 ways to Sunday. If an officer puts themselves in harm's way, use of deadly force is absolutely 100% not justifiable. Period. The end. That's it. I don't give a fuck what she was doing from that point on. He walked in front of the vehicle. Not only did he do it there, but he walked in front of the vehicle once before and behind the vehicle. So that's 3 different times that he did the wrong thing. Sorry, but...
No, I agreed with that. He probably should not have done that.
No.
I understand why he was doing it, but he shouldn't have done it.
Cool. So again, we agree that everything about that was 100% wrong on the officer's part, and he murdered a woman because he had zero justification to do so.
No. On the last time, she placed him directly in front of her
So
vehicle. by the
you
reversal
disagree
action.
you disagree with your actual fucking eyes that a man who was moving from right to left on this very fucking video, that it was just magic.
No, it was potentially possible for him to put himself in front.
Was he walking
But by her
walking
action-
right to left in the vehicle, yes or no?
But
Was
by
he
her
walking right
actions,
to
she
left, yes or
placed him
no?
in front
Was
of
he
the vehicle.
walking right to left, yes or no?
No, left to right.
In this video, right to left.
Yeah. Oh, in that one, no. That would be right to left, yes.
Yes, in this video. So he was walking right
I
to
wasn't
left.
I wasn't looking at the video.
Why
Sorry.
would he walk? Why would he take a single step to the right? Because even a single step already had him in front of the vehicle.
No, I agree. He probably should not have been making that step.
Not
but
probably.
by reversing
No,
her
not
car,
probably, sir.
he
No,
placed him
sir.
in
No,
front-
sir.
right in front of
No,
the
sir. Not probably.
Yes.
With 100% certainty, based on CBP and DHS policy, officers should avoid intentionally and unreasonably placing themselves in positions in which they have no alternative to using deadly force. He did this, and it was his own fault that he was there.
By her moving the car and placing him directly in front,
No.
she is at
Oh
fault.
my God, this guy!
No,
I can't with this fucking guy.
I know. I just wanna point out, by him using his gun in that situation, while you say she placed him directly in front of the vehicle,
Yes, ma'am.
if she hadn't have turned the wheel to pull away, him using his gun would not have saved him in that situation.
You are correct.
All using his gun would have done, if she hadn't have been turning the wheel to pull away, which is
Correct.
what she was doing, he would definitely have been run over by that car. And him using the gun wouldn't have stopped her running him over. What it would have done is potentially get him unalived or unalive him when he had the option of stepping out of the way. Secondly, not only did he do what he did to her, but by doing that, by the way, I'd love to hear your justification for shots 2 and 3, whatever that might be. But by doing that, he placed not only himself in danger because he could have stepped out of the way, and by shooting her, he if he was successful in that shot, he definitely would have been unalived. But he also put the other people in danger who are further down the street, because I don't know if you watched it, but after the shots, the car got significantly faster, which because obviously she is then incapacitated to the point where she can't control that vehicle anymore.
Correct.
So he did that with no due care and attention to himself, and also with no due care and attention to the other people around. I mean, that had the potential, if there had been people on the other side of that street and the car had veered up onto the sidewalk, that had the potential to unalive multiple people. So there is the argument that he was doing that for his own safety. Actually, him doing that put him in more danger than just letting her just letting her drive off and then following.
So you are suggesting that self-defense is a non sequitur at that
But
point?
it wasn't self-defense though, because if he was right in front of that vehicle, had she not turned her wheel, he would, and if he couldn't step out of the way, he would absolutely have been hit head on by that vehicle.
Correct.
So it wasn't self-defense. It was him.
Wait, whoa.
No, it wasn't, because self-defense, by its very definition, is an action which you take in order to defend yourself. It is not defending yourself to be right in front of a vehicle, that close in front of a vehicle, and shoot the person who's driving it. All that, because if you can't step out of the way, which presumably if he took the shot he thought he couldn't, in that scenario, you're causing more harm than good by doing that.
By your question, you're even suggesting that if somebody's shooting me, I shouldn't shoot back because, well, they could shoot other people around me behind me. I'm allowed self-defense.
No. That is a completely different scenario. If you are standing right, if I am standing, that may be, you may have a good point. If I'm standing right in front of a cannon, right, and I'm trying to get the person who's firing the cannon to stop, but a bullet is a tiny thing, and you have the potential to step behind something, and there's the potential to do all kinds of things.
Agreed.
And also, if the person is specifically trying to get you, the people 50, 60 feet down the street on the sidewalk probably aren't in any danger, but what you're talking about is somebody operating a vehicle which weighs tons, and by you incapacitating them driving that vehicle, you are then causing an object that weighs tons to go down a street at who knows how fast, because
Understood.
nobody has control of that vehicle anymore. And you haven't saved yourself by doing that because you were right in front of the vehicle.
Doesn't matter. I still have the right to self-defense.
What you've said, my man, you keep saying that, but the Supreme Court has affirmed a dozen different times that that's not true. You can think that, and that's your own delusion. But in the eyes of the law, in the eyes of the law, you're wrong. In Barnes v. Felix, which was decided this year, in May of 2025, there was an incident where an officer was struck by a vehicle moving about the same speed as Renee Good's vehicle, and he fired two shots, and it was found to be that he put himself in officer-induced jeopardy, and they ruled against the officer. They were like, No,
Correct.
because
he literally correct.
Hold on. What?
Go ahead.
So what's different?
That officer in that case deliberately stepped in front of the car with the intention of putting himself in harm's way.
Cool. That's
to
exactly
block
what
his-
happened
block
here.
her.
That's exactly what happened here.
No, the officer's intent was probably not to block her. He was simply walking.
Then why did he move his?
Not
Then why did he
expecting her
move his
to hit
phone?
him.
Then why did he move his phone to his left hand?
Just simply.
Why did he move his
Because of
phone
the
to his
good-
left hand and reach down for his
The
gun?
law-
Why did he move his
the law
phone to his
enforcement
left hand and
agent-
reach down for his gun? Huh?
He did not.
What the
reach-
fuck
he
is
did not
wrong
reach-
with you?
Hold on.
No, you hold on. What the fuck is wrong with you? Bro, it's fucking
He did
simple. He literally walked in
He
front of the
did not-
fucking car. What the fuck is wrong with you? You were literally defending a guy who walked in front of a fucking car. Are you an American citizen? Do you want me to go get you a fucking boot to lick? Do you like having the fucking Gestapo around with their fucking masks on? Do you want to get fucking shot? What the fuck is wrong with you? This is fucking America where our law enforcement is not allowed to do this. I don't give a fuck. He pulled his weapon illegally. It is not a justification. I don't give a fuck what happened in that moment. What the fuck is wrong with you? Did you ever take a civics class in high school?
I can teach law, and I'm social studies certified.
Awesome.
and
Then
I
you
have a
know if you can teach law, then why can't you cite me a single fucking law that would back up what you're saying? Here's the hint. It's because it's not justifiable. Why can't you cite me a single Supreme Court case that would back up what you're saying? Here's a hint. It's because it's not fucking justifiable. It's because what you're trying to justify isn't fucking justifiable. It's fucking murder. You're justifying a murder. Stop justifying murder.
Anyway, guys, if we can tap the screen and share the live, in order to make the TikToks understand that you all really enjoy this, then that would be freaking awesome. I would love that for us. Thank you. I've seen people drop the mic before. I've never seen them throw their headphones. That's a lovely hat on you.
Thank you. Man, I blacked out for a second. I don't know what happened.
No, that's okay. It was a mat out.
I love how Eric in the chat said, just like the left, to think emotionally, when Erica and I did nothing but provide facts, laws, and Supreme Court cases, and he just said, I feel like that's what he was doing. You can fuck right the fuck off, Eric. Why don't you go take a short walk, a long walk off of a short pier? Okay? That would be my suggestion for you right now. I mean that so fucking sincerely. Like, if you're going to sit here and lecture all of us about this, have some fucking facts. Oh, you can teach law? Cool. Then cite me the U.S. Code. That would back up your point. Oh, you can't. Okay, cool. Well, then cite us the Supreme Court cases that would make it okay for what he did. Oh, okay, you can't. Okay, cool. We'll show you the video where he's moving right to left in the video, and it's physically impossible for a human being to do that if he's not walking right to left. But possibly. The limits are gone for these people. They will defend anything. They will say anything. They will do anything There's nothing left.
Hi, friend. Listen, I just came up because one, I've never seen that side of you. And I'm about to make it real weird because I've never been more aroused, and I know I'm not the only one. You bricked everybody up. You channeled all of our rage. We were all raging with you and behalf of everyone in this chat. I just wanted to come up and thank you because we were screaming with you, my friend. So, guys, keep tapping the hell out of this screen because that was the most valid fucking crash out I've ever experienced in my life, and we love you, buddy.
I just have to say, I'm going to disagree with you here. I am drier than the Sahara.
Well, that's because you don't live in reality. You live in the British, and you live in the future, so you're not really real.
Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate that.
I'm gonna drop back down. I love you, buddy.
Thank you, friend. I appreciate you. I love you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna have to. I think we're gonna have to wrap this thing up. Unfortunately, probably.
I don't know why, Matthew. We're perfectly calm round here.
We've been on. We have been on for 3.5 hours. I need to say a couple.
No, I know. We've been on for time. We've been on for time.
Thank you to Ruben over on the tube. Thank you, Ruben, on the tube for the gift of the jewels. Thank you, Laura, on the Blue app. He said he keeps saying she turned the wheel to the left when she backed up. She was turning the wheel to the left in order to turn to the right. Jesus fucking Christ, anyone would have turned to the left. Yes, absolutely. Thank you to Tammy on the Blue app. So tired of this argument. This isn't a team sport. It isn't about my side needs to win. MAGA thinks they have to be on the opposite side of the left. As all of us being Americans, we can all see he purposefully unalived her. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you to Andrea on the Blue app. Andrea said, for the most eloquent, fact-filled, passionate crash out on that absolute bootlicker. Thank you for bringing your incredible knowledge and passion every day. We love you. Thank you, Andrea. Love you guys too. Paul, yeah, there you go.
Can I point out she had to turn her wheel to the left when she backed up because that was a one-way street. She could not drive the other way down that street because it was a one-way street. It has a single line of traffic, and then it has a lane for bicycles, and then it has a parking lane. She had to turn to the left when she backed up in order to go right.
Yeah, exactly. That's not. There's no other way for that to work. Thank you to Dolphin. Thank you, Dolphin. It says you see the clip of Congressman comply or you won't unalive. Yes, thank you, Dolphin. In fact, we played that. I think it was last night. I think I played it. Or the night before, but yeah, absolutely. We had a congressman who actually literally said, "Just comply, and you won't die. Just do whatever law enforcement says at any point in time, because that's what we do here in America now, apparently." Thank you, Gen X on the Blue app. He said, "Do a shot of bourbon. You earned it, bud." Thank you. You didn't have to, but thank you, friend. I appreciate you. Thank you, friend.
Hang on, is that Gentle Fist?
That's your friend, Gentle Fist.
Nice.
That's your good bud. That's thank you, Gentle Fist. We appreciate you. I think we're gonna wrap. I think we're gonna wrap up for the day. Eric says silencing someone is more jackbooted than anything I did. Eric, you just kept saying the same thing over and over. We already heard what you had to say, so you can just go keep saying the same thing over and over to somebody else. We deal in facts here, okay? And since you brought no facts to the table, that discussion was over. That's it.
Was it? If something is presented without evidence, you can. I can't remember the next part of that. Anything presented without evidence can be refuted without evidence. I think that's the phrase.
I mean, I'm just like, hey, here's this Here's the manual that says they can't do this. Here's the statute that says this. Here's the Supreme Court. Eric, like, well, but nuh-uh, I still think, okay, I agree with that, but nuh-uh, I still think. It's not just fucking in your feelings, bro. Go to some MAGA panel where you can just say that and everyone will be like, yeah, bro, yeah. I feel you. Vibes, bro. Go do that.
Can I just add from one teacher to another? If I went in somewhere and I claimed to teach something and then I could cite nothing relating to the subject I apparently am qualified to teach, I would be a shitty teacher.
Yep. Pretty wild. All right, guys. I think this is a good point to wrap things up. Oh wait, hold on, real quick. A thank you to Secret Squirrel. Thank you for your generosity on the Blue app. That was kind. So just because you deserve it, you guys are too kind. Thank you all today. This is very kind of you. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, that's enough crashing out for today.